Okay, here we are again. Had to mute the mic there for a couple of minutes. Got a surprise phone call pretty much just when I clicked record or start streaming. So, but that's okay. It's all good. I guess it's better than them calling me in the middle of the stream and it being a 50-50 whether or not I can even answer them, you know. So. Alright. Get this on. Oh, my water. Speaking of 50-50, it's like a 50-50 shot whether I remember to put my water back over where I was stretching a second ago or not, within arm's reach of where I'm sitting. It's like, oh, whoops, well, guess I'll have to take care of it now rather than earlier. That's alright. Not a big deal. Let's see who's here. Ah, Pad's here. Yes, Pokémon. Pokémon indeed. That's what we're up to. At least that's what we will be up to once we make it through the next set of classes. I suppose the classes that we have to take today are about Pokemon, but oh, good lord, if they aren't just the most basic of the basics. I mean, I know they have to start you small with, you know, just in case there's players that have not played the games before, but do you really think that the new players are going to stop and take actual school classes about the Pokemon? Like, not knowing that there's a reward at the end of it if they do. So I'm not sure if they will. Well, I guess that remains to be seen. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Pokemon Violet, the stream edition. I'm back in my not winter clothes anymore because I'm back down closer to the south side of the province, not all the way up there in the mountains somewhere. Because last time we showed a little EXP farm where you could go find a whole bunch of Chansey, and you could use them to gain a whole bunch of experience for any Pokemon that you have in reserve that you would like to raise outside of your main team of 6 for a specific purpose, like, for example, taking on Team Star bases, which we will be doing today. And in the interim, I've done a little bit of training, as you can see here. Well, Callie is the highest level out of all of the Pokemon that are available. Basically what I did was I got Master McEwen, well, I got Lucario up to level 33 first before I did anything else. Then I got Master McEwen up to level 36, which is the level cap where I want him to be for when he comes back and makes a cameo for the 5th gym. And then I had Callie take over from there and raise everybody else to either at or directly below, their level that they will evolve. At least all the ones that are in this box, because the main Pokemon that are in this box are the ones that we're going to want to watch evolve on screen, because they've been active contributors to the team so far, with the exception of Princess Natalie, who will never evolve, because that would be blasphemous to this small child. But I raised everybody else to pretty much within their levels of evolving, except for Oricorio, because Oricorio obviously does not evolve. But with that being said, there is one thing that I want to do with Oricorio. Well, actually two things, now that I think about it, before we move along here. Now, let me see, how much experience did you guys need to get to your things? You need 1 small experience candy. You need 4. I might just give you a medium, because that would get you there faster. You need 1. You need 3, and you need 3. Okay, and once we give them each of those experience candies, they'll evolve into their final forms, and then that's almost all the evolutions on screen that I think are particularly, like, ones that I would want to see, you know what I mean? But, the ones that we see, like, don't see, and actually I'll show you those in just a second as well before I evolve all of these. While I was in the process of raising everybody, obviously the team members that needed to be at their level caps got to the level caps way faster than me getting, you know, Master McEwen to his level cap and Callie. So I just started sticking Pokemon that we have in the PC into the team until they evolved. So Lechonk has evolved over here into Oinkologne. Tarantula is involved into Spidops. Basically, if their evolution level was at or below the level cap, I tried to evolve them. So we got Fletchinder, Gyarados, Wugtrio, which is the evolution of Wiglet. Still don't know how I feel about that evolutionary line. We got Gumshoos, Pawmo, Floatzel, Pelipper, Clodsire, I just evolved Sunkern into Sunflora because we had 3 Sunstones, so I figured I'd just do that. We also got a Steenie out of the whole thing. Bonsly evolved into Sudowoodo. Ralts into Kirlia. We'll hold off on evolving Kirlia into Gardevoir because it's a male Kirlia, so we can show off Gallade instead. Got Greedent, Masquerain, Fluffy. I didn't evolve Fomantis because, if I'm quite honest with you, I don't even know what level Fomantis evolves at. I don't know enough about anything beyond Gen 6 of Pokemon to even remotely be able to tell you that. And I think I pretty much got stuck right around Staravia because I think after that... Oh yeah, and I forgot, I actually have 2 Drowsies, so take this one that we just caught last time in the raid and get rid of it. Goodbye. Because the other one's closer to evolution than this one. I didn't realize that when I caught it last time. But yeah, so, you know, quite a few Pokemon that we still have left to evolve, and once we evolve the ones that are in my party currently on screen, it'll be a lot easier to then go and evolve all of the ones that aren't evolved here off screen once the level cap raises a little bit and we get to the point where we can actually do that. Some of them obviously won't evolve, like Gimmighoul. We need to get 999 of the coins before we can evolve it. Igglybuff and Chansey, they need happiness in order to evolve, etc. Charcadet has a special evolution case, and we can't do anything with that until we get to... There's a town that we need to go to near the quarry site, which is north of Levincia. So we'll talk about that when we get a little further. But what do you say we do some evolving before we go to class, shall we? I think I'm actually also going to take this opportunity to go catch the other 2 team members that I need for the fights with Team Star's bases, because one of them will actually be a contributing member for the next gym as well, so it'll be worth it to catch them as soon as possible. So, all right, so you get 1 experience candy small, and that'll get you over to level 38. Which will get you to your evolutionary point. Normally I'd be really jonesing for Stealth Rock, but you've already got a pretty good moveset as it is. So let's just not do that. And my Minecraft sheep is evolving. The Princess's Loyal Knight is being promoted, ma'am, do you mind, into a bush. No, she's the captain of the guard, but we can't see her from this bush. There we go. I can't go up and down with it, but there you go. There she is. Garganical. I'll move after this because I don't feel like being in a bush when she evolves the next time. Or, not, she's not going to evolve anymore, but like the others evolving, obviously. And we could learn Hammer Arm, which would be another offensive move that we could use against the Chansey, but it's not 100% accurate, so I think I'd rather not. If I want to do that, I'll just get Brick Break or something. So, alright, let me move out of the way of this bush first. Oh yeah, and I forgot, we can make claims on our Pokedex now, because with all of the evolutions that I did, we actually have quite a bit more in our Pokedex than we did previously. But I'm trying not to get Pokemon Center themed there. This should be a good spot to do some evolution. But yeah, I'll do all that once I've actually evolved all of these guys, instead of, you know, just looking at it and then having to look at it again, you know. So... Oh, I only have 1 medium. Okay, well, Goater Cycle, you're going to get this one. Actually, before I do that, let me evolve everybody else, because the Goater Cycle's been moral support this whole time, so we'll let him do the evolution dance last. Skiploom can evolve as well. 1 more time. We didn't get to see this, I don't think, in Coliseum. So, looks like he got a little smaller, but it's not out of the ordinary. That'll happen sometimes with Pokemon, so... He, started evolving the cotton on his head rather than just the flower. So, well, there's that evolution. Let's see, next one we can do. So Spoink needed, what, 3 or 4? I forget. I just did this and I forget already. 3, and you need 3. Okay. So 3 each, and then we'll do the medium with the Goater Cycle. Spoink's actually in the fast experience group, so it can actually level up fairly quickly if you want to use it yourself. It'll be leveling up faster than pretty much anything now that it's above level 20. So, but the main thing we need from Spoink is an evolution, so that it can be at the level cap for the 3rd Team Starbase and have a type advantage. So we'll evolve Spoink into Grumpig, and now we have a 3rd type advantage to use in that Team Star Raid. So there you go. Add to our Pokedex a little bit more. Nice. Teeter Dance, I don't know if I want that. You already have Confuse Ray, right? Yes, I don't think I want that. Nice thing about Grumpig, though, is that its coverage moves are actually pretty good. It can learn a combination of Power Gem by Level Up or TM, and Earth Power by TM. So, excuse me, you get not only Psychic type coverage, but also that Rock Ground coverage that pretty much hits everything, except for a choice few Pokemon, and I think all of them take at least neutral damage from Psychic, if not super effective. Because I think the only major type combination that resists Rock and Ground is Grass and Fighting, so like Breloom and stuff, but they take super effective damage from Psychic type moves, so that's some pretty good coverage that you can get there. Shroodle, I didn't even intend to do this. I think Shroodle evolves at level 28 normally, and actually I'm pretty sure Spoink evolves at 32. Skiploom definitely evolves at 27, but Shroodle gets Poison Jab at 29, so unintentionally this actually worked out pretty nicely, so there you go. And now we evolve Professor Egad into a monkey thing. Okay, wait, hang on. I literally just heard the squawking noise that Squawkabilly does in your cry. What do you mean, guys? Like, you guys do understand that when they did that with, like, Charizard and Rhyhorn in Gen 1, that was because of technical limitations, right? It wasn't done on purpose. They just couldn't store that many audio files in the game files because the game was made of spaghetti. So you don't have to do that in this generation. You have plenty more room, I would think, anyway. Gets Doodle. I guess I'll sub out for Leer. I'm never going to use Leer, so there you go. Oh god, look at how huge it got. I don't know if that was where you were going with that, but his face unfolded a little bit. So, alright, and last but not least, use the Experience Candy Medium on the Goater cycle because he needs to become even more goated than he already is. So let's make him even more goated than he already is. I mean, he's cute as he is, but let's turn him into a badass, shall we? Very nice. Go-Goat. One of my favorite grass types of all time. I don't know, I just like mountain goats, and this is a mountain goat, obviously, and also has motorcycle horns, basically. So. But there you go. There's Go-Goat as well. Gets Aerial Ace by evolving. Can learn Surf if you go back to the... if you go into his Remember Moves. Whole bunch of good things to like about Go-Goat. Its stat spread is a little bit not particularly incredible, but that's okay. We can't be perfect at everything, you know. Alright, so now we can make a bunch of claims on our Pokedex, so let's go do that in just a second once it goes from there. Whoa! Look at all that. Alright, go away notifications. I know I can make a claim now. So yeah, in the process of doing all the extra training that I did off-screen to get everybody ready to evolve, we now have 103 species caught in our Pokedex on a registered 152. So we can make a few claims out of this, because the last time we made a claim it was when we were at 70 species. So we got 80 now for this Waterstone, 90 for basically free money, because here's 10 Nest Balls that I'll never use, and 5 more Stardust, so even more free money. And at the next one we get 3 Experience Candy Mediums, so I guess that'll be fine once we get there. But more importantly, getting to 100 species means the next time we go to the school, which is in about 10-15 minutes, we can actually go back to Professor Jacques and make our have the second event with him where we make our second claim, and then he tells us to register more species after that. Last thing I want to do before we leave Levincia to go and catch my last couple of members for the Team Star raids is I want to go to Delibird Presents now that we have the 3rd gym badge, because if you go, I think it's in General Goods. Yeah, it is. So if you go into General Goods after you've got 3 badges, you can actually buy some of the elemental stones from here now, along with a sweet or a tart apple. If you have an Applin and you want to evolve it, you can get them here. I would probably recommend just grabbing them from, there's like a grove where you can catch a bunch of Applin in East Province Area 1. I'll show where that is because we'll be going that way soon enough. But I'd recommend getting them from there because you only need 1 of each and 2 Applin to evolve it, and you can literally catch 2 Applin in the grove and then just get 1 of each of these, and you can go from there. So I wouldn't recommend buying them unless you want to have a lot of Applin evolutions, but you can also buy these nectars. Red nectar, yellow nectar, pink nectar, and purple nectar. These will change your Oricorio's form into one of its other forms. Now, if it's already in one of its forms, like for example my Oricorio is in Bylay form, So if I used red nectar, it wouldn't do anything because it's already in the red nectar form. But I could use yellow, pink, or purple nectar to swap out its form into something else. I want purple nectar because, as it turns out, the purple version of Oricorio will be very, very useful for the last Team Star raid, just because of its typing. So that's what we're going to do. So let's put that, slap that bad boy on Oricorio real quick, swap its form around, and then we'll be good to go. Just about, anyway. There. You stood a little more upright now. Yeah, so that's the Sensu form of Oricorio. It is, instead of the Bile form is Fire Flying, this one is Ghost Flying. And actually, unintentionally, I haven't even checked Oricorio's Terra type to make sure it's correct, but it is the correct Terra type. It's Flying Terra type, which will help make things even more guaranteed later on when we actually use them for some fighting. So now, the one thing that I also want to do is I want to do, because I think I got an Air Slash TM, yeah, not too long ago. So I want to teach Oricorio Air Slash because that'll be the move of choice that we use when we actually have him, or I think it's her actually, have them, yeah, her, wander off into the Team Star base to help out. And I want to forget a move, so we're just going to forget Growl because I don't need it. Really don't need any of the other moves, but, you know, that's fine. But we want to make an open slot there so that way we can give her the Mirror Herb, and then we can bring Lilligant back into the party. Because what we can do is we can then do the same thing we were doing with SmackDown last time and a couple of other moves. We can do a quick picnic, instantly put all of the picnic items away, and then once we do that, Oricorio will actually be able to learn one of Lilligant's moves that is a really, really good setup move. And I am surprised they gave it to it, but they did. And so we're going to take full advantage of that. Let's see. You two are going here, so you go there. You two can stay there for now, and let's just go make the quick picnic. So let's just go up the cliffs here, throw out a picnic, and then we'll come back, and we'll go catch a couple of other things, and then that'll do it. I think am I far enough outside the city now to make the picnic, or am I too close? Yeah, I'm too close, okay. So if you can still hear the music of the city, you're not far enough away from the city to make a picnic, so let's just go all the way up the cliffs here. Should be nice and flat up here. Yeah, there we go. So, alright, make a picnic, wait for everybody to pop out, including the table, and then pack right up immediately. No experience gain, no nothing, but if we go into Oricorio's list now, it has learned Quiver Dance from Lilligant, which is a really good boosting move that, again, I am surprised they actually gave Oricorio, but I think it was only in this gen that they gave it that, so that's pretty strong. It will help make Oricorio really, really powerful for the last Team Star base, the 5th one. But for now, we need to get out the party that has been untainted by all of the Chansey EXP farming that I did last time, other than Master McEwen, who I'm going to pull out of the PC so that he can help me with catching something right now. And then once... Actually, I'm not even going to have him in front for the first one. I'll leave Interceptor in the front for the first one. You go grab this, and actually, it's right there, what I'm looking for. One of the 2 team members, anyway, is right over here. This one's level 23, which is... I mean, that's fine. I don't want to get too close while not being hidden, so... There we go. Surprise attack! I was going to go down into East Province Area 2 on the south side of Levincia to catch this, but hey, this will work out too. I don't know. You know, 23 and 24, Magnemite's got pretty good physical defense. I'm going to say this Fire Fang won't KO. I mean, I guess it would have been a good test to see if it had sturdy or not, but it doesn't matter if it does or it doesn't. I'm not really enthusiastic about it. I'll use Yawn just in case the first ball doesn't work. And then there's only one more Pokemon left to capture after this. And actually, it's probably better that we grab the Magnemite from here anyway, because going down into the, like, actual East Province Area 2 proper, it can actually be a little bit dangerous down there, because the Tauros, the wild Tauros that are running around are, well, okay, there's one right behind me, and he is literally going to get into a battle with me as soon as this fight is done. They're aggressive, for one thing, so they will instantly pick a fight with you if they see you. They tend to spawn in out of absolutely nowhere, and they will rush you at the same speed that Miraidon actually moves after they, like, you know, paw the ground a few times. they'll then charge at you, and they'll run at you at literally the same speed that Miraidon moves, so Miraidon typically cannot get away fast enough unless you, like, do a dash to get away. So it's one of the reasons why I have Master McHugh in there, because he's at a high enough level and fast enough to where I don't have to worry about them literally rushing me, because then I can just throw him out and run away immediately. So yeah, see, there it goes. It literally just tried to rush me while I was in the middle of doing the Pokedex stuff there. What a little shit disturber. Anyway, I'm getting the heck out of here before he comes back. I don't know where he went, but I don't even think I want to know. Sorry, Wattrel. We'll catch you later. I gotta catch a bus on out of here before that thing comes back. Am I gonna make it to this roof? Probably not if I do that. Maybe if I go here. Well, I could probably go here to that roof over there, and then I could go up top here. We'll grab some items while we're here in Levincia as well, just because why not? You know. Hang on, let me go this roof first. There we go. Should make it. All right, cool. And then I think I can. No, not quite. Okay. Well, I can get to that one. Hop up on this little ledge and then hop on top here. I don't even remember what's up here. There might be nothing up here, but yeah, we'll go have a look anyway as I bounce off the geometry. Oh, there is an item up here. Okay. There's a bunch of items over there near the executive offices. I think I mentioned that last time, so we'll go over there and we'll grab some of them. 2 soda pops on the rooftop? Somebody was taking a break all the way up there? Alright, fair enough, I guess. Hey Marie, how you doing? Good evening. Here mostly to lurk? Sounds like a plan. You lurk if you would like to. We just got back from... We found a little bit of an experience grind the last time that I showed off with Chansey up in North Province Area 3. We went up there just mostly for the sequence break, honestly. There wasn't really a particular reason for it. But, oh look, I'm doing a little wave dash to get up there. But we did that to get everybody that's not in the main team of 6 up and ready to go for the Team Star bases. Oh, Psychic Fangs, nice. And now we're back at it. We're catching the other team members we'll need for the Team Star bases. I don't actually need any lemonade, thank you. And yeah, once we're done with that, we'll go from there. Now get on top of this sign so I can get back up on the roof. Never mind. Well, I guess there's that. Can't believe I'm like trying to do these weird wave dash jumps like I'm back in Sonic 06 or something. But yeah, here's the main prize of going on the executive buildings. 1, 2, 3, 3 nuggets! Ah! An Encore TM that I'll probably just let sit in the bag, or I'll sell it for the pittance of money that it'll get me. And what's this guy here? Ironhead. Okay, well that's not bad either. Ironhead can be useful. I think that's it. Okay. Well, with that, we've gotten everything that I want to get, so let's see. I guess I can just go back to the Artazon Pokemon Center, because the other Pokemon that I want to catch is in the forest areas of East Province Area 1. And we do have to go back to East Province Area 1 today in order to take care of the trainers there, but we'll do that in a little bit once we're done taking classes and stuff. So... heal up the paralysis that we got from the Magnemite, and then as soon as we're done, we can go ahead and move Magnemite into the party, because Master McEwen won't need the experience from anything else. He's already good to go on experience. Everybody else just needs to gain a little bit so we can get up to 26. And we should get that just by the process of wandering around, trying to fight the trainers around here, but we'll see if that's true or not. So, mostly want to wander around the trees here. I think they're more common closer to nighttime, but I could be wrong. I'm not even sure if this game's day-night cycle makes a difference in the Pokemon that you can find. So, well, there he is right there, so I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to grab a Venonat. Just wait for him to turn around. No, the other way. Hang on, LeChonk. Be a little quiet with me here. Gotta wait for him to turn his back. I said we gotta wait. Oh, you're a new one. Sorry, I didn't realize you had a friend. We gotta wait for him to turn his back so I can throw the Pokeball and get a surprise attack. You guys aren't understanding what I'm saying, are you? Maybe better by showing you. Alright, there we go. So here's the Venonat. Low sweep won't KO from here. But you quad resist this. Yeah, not even close. I could low sweep again. It probably would KO if I did it again and it critted, but I'd probably find another one. It did not crit though, so that's good. Now, if we need to catch anything after this, this is the last one that we really want to catch in the whole game, basically, is this Venonat, and then we can eventually evolve it. I can always evolve it on screen, though, because we'll have an empty 6th slot for our team members for a little while yet. So we've got to wait until about level 35 before we catch our 6th and final team member that's going to be part of the main team, so. Once we evolve Magnemite into Magneton, we can evolve this into Venomoth on screen as well. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll do that later. Okay, so there's our Venonat. Oh, excuse me. And we will move all of them into the correct slots in our PC, and then we're good. And we should probably also heal Master McEwen of his poisoning, but we can do that from inside the box, so... Wait, who did I... Oh, Magnemite. You're in the way. Sorry, Magnemite. And then, actually, Venonat, you're in just the correct spot, so you stay right there. And Magnemite, you are in the medium-fast experience group, so I actually am going to leave you in front. Do you have Sturdy or do you have Magnet Pull? Okay, Magnet Pull's not great, and Impish Nature is even worse, but you know what? I'll take it, it's fine. Make it work. I wonder if there's another... You know, I was meaning to check this. I didn't check it on screen. I wonder if there's another Flash Cannon TM anywhere that I could grab for you. Because that would probably be better than Gyro Ball, but especially since you like paralyzing things, that would be a little bit not so good with Gyro Ball, because Gyro Ball deals more damage the slower you are compared to the opponent. So if you're going to paralyze, it's like antithetical to it. But anyway, yeah, so we'll rock this team of 6 for a little while, and then we'll go from there. I think that's all I wanted to do outside of school stuff, so let's go back to school. I'm going to go to the Pokemon Center just to heal that poison from inside the PC. And then we'll go back to school. We'll take some classes, we'll see what events are available to us, and after that is when we will actually continue on a proper adventure with this team of 6. And I promise this will become more common the further along we go, where we're actually using a team that, you know, is the main team of, well, in this case 5, it's not quite 6 yet, but the main team of 5 that we'll be using throughout the playthrough. These 5 plus a rotating 6th member for a little while will be more common from now on, because there's just less events going on in between each story thing, and I don't need to be like rotating people in and out a whole bunch, because I have a method of getting everybody who is going to be involved in the Team Starbase raids to their levels without having to rotate them in, and we've already seen them all, almost all of them, either level up or evolve on screen anyway, so we should be good, is what I'm saying. Finally out of class, let me walk in a circle around the front door. Alright, well anyway. Events first, or... Nah, let's take the classes first, then we'll do the events after the classes are done. So we'll take the second lecture of each of these classes, and then we'll go from there. See what we end up with. And then after the 4th badge, we'll do the 3rd round. After the 5th badge, well, there's no 4th round yet. Basically, you do 3 rounds of lectures, and then you take a midterm. Then you do 3 more rounds of lectures, and then you take a final. So there's technically a 4th lecture, but it doesn't happen until after the midterm. So they couldn't keep up with me out in the field, so I stopped doing it, because leaving them behind makes me an irresponsible trainer. Again, though, the circle in Levincia is probably a pretty good place for if you have a Pawmo, like I've got a Pawmo now, or if you have, there's one other Pokemon we've seen in the desert but we haven't caught yet. They need 1,000 steps using the ZR button to let them out of the ball in order for them to evolve, so the circle in Levincia is probably your best bet for that, so. I mean, if you say so. It seemed pretty goofy, honestly. Like, they have a timer on the sandwich making and everything. Yeah, it's a Pokeball. No, it's an egg. You can find Pokemon eggs at the picnics and they'll just show up. There's a basket, basically, that's next to the picnic table, and if there's a Pokemon egg, like if there's 2 compatible Pokemon at your picnic, they might just have an egg show up. You don't have to make a sandwich for the egg show up. You can just kind of run around, and then eventually there might be an egg or there might not. So, yeah, so stealthily that it doesn't even happen on screen, even though you literally don't take your eyes off them while you're at the picnic. So, yeah, and if you have a Pokemon with the Flame Body ability, it halves the amount of steps you need to hatch them, so there you go. Hey, Charlie Ray, how you doing? It's going pretty good. How's it going for you? We are taking some classes in Pokemon Violet because there are some rewards at the end of all of this that may be worth it. Maybe. We'll see. Mr. Jacques the Bell Ring, can we go? Okay. Bye. And Chris is here as well. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Are you getting good grades, son? I don't know. They haven't graded me on anything yet. Apparently, the entirety of my grade is focused around the midterm and the final in this school, which is a little bit of pressure, but, you know, I'd rather that they space it out, but then I'd have to do, like, actual assignments and homework, and maybe this system is better because then there's no homework to do. I don't know. Well, you tell me what the subject of the math class is today, and then we'll know if we're having a better class, a good class or not. A fun class, that is. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, something like that. Right. Well, technically speaking, you'd receive 10 Pokeballs, but there is a different type of Pokeball that you would receive alongside those, because if you buy 10 of them at once, you get a freebie. It's been like that since Gen 3. Right, so if we're splitting hairs here, technically speaking, you can only afford 10, but if a Premier Ball is considered a type of Pokeball, so if she's talking about the overarching amount of Pokeballs rather than the Pokeball item itself, it's 11. But, I don't know. I mean, it helps them make repeat customers out of you, I guess. I used to like using Premier Balls a lot more than I do now. I kind of just stick to Pokeballs now if I want the Pokemon to be on my main team of 6, but that's only if they don't, like, break out of them too often for me to just get sick of it and be like, okay, I'm throwing a Great Ball or an Ultra Ball at you. Forget it. So, yeah, all or nothing. Oof, yeah, I know. They're not exactly making it easy on me here, but, you know, we'll make it work out. I hope you're taking notes, though, because everything they've been talking about in these classes will be on the tests. This is not a joke and not a drill. Get your pens and paper pads out. So we won't be thinking about tomorrow here? I guess not. Are we going to explain what a dictator is to the class for those of us that don't know what a dictator is, or is that too heavy of a subject for a kids game? Yeah, well, it makes sense. They had less science to go by, or at least less science that we know. They probably had a decent amount of science. It's just it wasn't either it wasn't fully developed or it wasn't record kept very well. Huh. Actually, I was trying to see the professor behind your head, but sure, why not? You said about 2,000 years ago, right? I'm trying to. Quite honestly, sometimes history puts me to sleep, but it's because some of it is very dry. Always liked using a Premier Ball for Reshiram. Yeah, there's certain Pokemon where I feel like if it matches up with their color scheme pretty well, I feel like it matches pretty good. Sometimes I like catching Steel types in, what is it, Timer Balls, I think, because Timer Balls have the little clock animation that happens, so That's not too bad either. Some of them, there's like actual, like, I don't know, what would that be called? It synchronizes with their typing or stuff like that, but, you know. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I figured it was just a big hole in the ground, but apparently not. Maybe both. Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure if it was that dangerous, you would have died. You can't use anything that you take advantage of nowadays that you wouldn't have had 2,000 years ago because you'd create a time paradox. So, yeah, a time machine. I mean, technically speaking, time machines do exist in the Pokemon universe. It's more of a time capsule than a time machine, but you could talk to Bill in the Kanto region. I'm pretty sure he was working on that. He didn't quite work on that in this timeline, but if we had played Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow and Gold, Silver, Crystal for the stream before this, it would have been a canon event already. A time machine? No way. That's never going to happen. Don't be telling tall tales, Miss Ryfort. Wish they referenced the Pokeballs used by young Professor Oak. Never saw them after the Pokemon movie. Yeah, like the apricorn-looking ones? Yeah. I forget if they really... Because they have kind of like a second generation of them in Pokemon Legends and Legends Arceus, but those aren't like the ones where they're hollowed out apricorns, basically, you know. So, but they're like a step up from those ones. Would be cool to catch Pokemon in antique Pokeballs, though, because if they're antique themselves, it would make some sense. It would be synergistic with their, like, history, I guess, in that case. I suppose. Oui. Je suis prête. I don't think that's how you say that in French, but, you know. It would probably just be je prête, wouldn't it? Because you wouldn't need je suis if you're saying I am prepared. Anyway. Okay, well, delicieux kind of makes it pretty, help. Delicieux kind of makes it a little bit obvious, but there you go. I wonder what Haozi is. I wonder if that's Chinese or not. But Buono is Italian, right? Yeah, Waka Waka. Something like that. Well, that makes sense. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the person. I don't like getting empty compliments myself, but I'm not going to be pissed off at a person about it. It just doesn't put them on the right foot with me right away. But maybe that's just me. Yeah, I was gonna say, you might make a few new friends that way. Matane! So you pick up a few things just from listening to random languages throughout the world occasionally. So. Yeah, with the little egg timer on the front ones. Yeah, I remember the egg timer because you had to twist it so that way when you threw it, it would pop open. I remember those. Oh my god, it's been so long. Wonder if that board has a Raichu pun or something on it in code. We'd have to look at because there's an alphabet for this game that's available online, so we'd have to look at it and see if we could translate it, but I don't have the alphabet directly in front of me, so. You know, actually, the day that they have set up for these kids isn't too bad, because you take the hard subjects in the morning, then you go to recess for battle studies, and then you do all the, like, arts and crafts stuff in the afternoon before you go home for the day. I remember we had something somewhat similar to that when I was in middle school, but it wasn't exactly like that, because we'd have technology class, then we'd have home ec, and then, well, we'd have recess, then technology class, then home ec, and then one hard subject at the end of the day. I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't math, though. I think it was like English or something, like an English language class. Or maybe it was my French class. No, that was high school. Never mind. So, because we didn't take second languages, at least not here in New York State. We didn't take second languages until we were in high school, so. Yeah, like the Magnemite that I brought to this class and didn't even think about. I have seen some crystals out there. There's so much Terra energy coming up from those 1-star raids that they literally crystallize the ground. So yeah, one of the advantages to the Battle Studies class is that they actually tell you a little bit of the mechanics about Terra raids, so... It's nice. I mean, I think there was a little tutorial for the Dynamax raids back in Gen 8, but I don't think they got quite as in-depth with it in that one. Then again, I'm not one to talk because, as I said previously, I played like 10 or 12 hours of Gen 8, so I can't really tell you if they get more in-depth about those battles or not, but there you go. Wham Bam Potion. Explosive Healing Wave. Alright, who's a DBZ fan on the dev team here? I know you're in there. I can see you. It's Heal Up. Because it's very not creative. I mean, I don't know about that. I think I need a little more experience before we can do that. Plus, I don't want to, you know, rain on your parade here, Ms. Dendra. You're the teacher, after all. Yeah, so if you need to, you can use a cheer in battle to increase the, you know, stats of the Pokemon that you're with, or heal them if you need it in a pinch. In 1- and 2-star raids, you really don't need to do that. You can kind of just blast right through them, which is why typically if I see a 1- or 2-star raid and it's like, oh, I don't have that Pokemon yet, I'll just do it because it's very brain dead. Once you start getting in, I think in 3-star and above they start incorporating shields and stuff, but usually up to 4-star raids, as long as you have the correct level of Pokemon, it's fine. Once you start getting above that, like into the 4- and 5-star raids, it's a little bit... it requires a little bit more strategy than just kind of brain-dead mashing the button, you know? So... computer class. Full episodes of Ben 10. Boy, I wish. We didn't quite have good enough computers. The computers they had in my technology class, and this is probably going to show my age, they still had Alta Vista on them. That's how old they were. They were like Mac computers that from now, granted, I'm not that old, but they were Mac computers from like the late 1980s because that was all the budget could afford. It was cool though, because I mean, some of the classes we got to play like SimCity in a couple of the tech stations. We got to play with a wind tunnel and a hydraulic press. This was before they really like had a lot of those safety things and realized that, yeah, maybe having a hydraulic press in a middle school for students is probably not a good idea. But we did. We had a whole wind tunnel in there. It was cool. We got to put these little, like, we got to make these toothpick bridges. And this was kind of where the engineering spark really hit me, was from the tech class. Because we got to make these little toothpick bridges and stick them in a wind tunnel that could go up to 50 miles an hour and see if it still stood upright. It was pretty cool, actually. That technology class was probably one of my favorite classes I took. So. Oh boy. What's Mr. Hassel doing now? A special guest as a Gibble. Hi. He's a professor? Where's his degree? Well, he can terrestrialize, and not into a dragon type, by the looks of it. Must be one of those ones that was out in the wild, a Terra Pokemon that he caught in one of the raids. And normally. I'd say the grass type, considering Nimona tried to use it against me just the last episode. I don't know if grass type would be such a good switch for Gibble, because it wouldn't really gain a good resistance. It would still be weak to ice, after all. And that's a big problem for Gibble and its evolutionary line. It's not always completely obvious, though. Like, sometimes I used to get... What did I used to get mixed up? I used to get the rock and ground Terra types mixed up all the time. Although I guess, you know, they're both weak to water and grass, so it doesn't really matter because you could just use both of those on them, but... yeah. And we don't get to see Professor Gibble unterrestrialized, which would be a cool little feature here, but again, I'm just still upset by the fact that they removed that so that you can't see that because it happens off screen now for the most of the time. So, all right, off to home ec class, and then we're done with our classes for the day. We can check our events at the school, and then 1 hour in, we can finally start actually battling some trainers. He turned into a flower pot. Yeah, something like that. I mean, Gibble's ground type, right? It's not just dragon, it's dragon ground, so he's got the soil for it already. Yeah, that's also another feature, is that picnics can, if you're in a pinch, you can always restore some HP for your Pokemon in your party by having a sandwich, which I guess makes sense. You're taking a load off to have a refreshment after all, so. Oh yeah, there's a school store. I wonder if they have Moo Moo Milk as a healing item just yet. I don't remember if they get that until 4 gym badges, but I guess we can go check the school store after this while it's fresh in my head. Excuse me. If I don't forget in the 2 minutes between here and there. So. Am I going to have to do math in this class, or? No, I guess not. Oh, no. Oh, no! Call the hospital for help. That's what I'd do. Yeah, no, what should I search for? Items on the ground, because you might find healing items in those items. Although, more often than not, depending on where you're at, they're not healing items. They're, you know, berries that raise friendship or something. But yeah, search for hidden items. They can give you something to help you out. Although, the Oran berries are, I think, really only available in South Province areas 1 and 2. After that, I don't think Oran berries are in the drop table for anything. It's also one of the reasons why I don't get lum berries or citrus berries very often in this game, because as far as I'm aware, they're only in the drop table on the path to the Pokemon League, so only if you find shining items on the ground on the way to the Pokemon League can you even get a lum berry or a citrus berry. There could be other areas that I just don't know about, but like North Province, as far as I'm aware, those are all the berries that you hold to reduce the damage of a super effective hit, if I remember correctly. So that's not it, but there's probably a couple other places where you can find them. I've just never found. I don't know if I've ever found a lum berry now that I think about it, and I think I found 1 citrus berry, and that's it. So. If I'm quite honest with you, though, the other methods you can employ for healing your Pokemon are literally just call up the map and call a taxi. The school pays for all of the taxi fares, so just returning to the last Pokemon kiosk that you stayed at is a pretty effective solution. So, yeah, forget what? Exactly. I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to do. Let's go to the school store. Alright, so. I wonder if this is the same Bronzong from out in that park before. Bronzong's one of those Pokemon, I don't know if it's very noticeable from this angle here, but it's really, I think I have to get used to it. It's just really a different aesthetic for Pokemon. But some of the Pokemon in this game, this is going to sound weird, but they remind me more of claymation figures. Like if you look at Let's Go, the art design for the Pokemon and the humans was about the same, so they aesthetically looked like they were from the same universe. But in this game, sometimes when you stare at the people and you stare at the Pokemon, it looks like they're a little, like, it's just a little uncanny. It's not really bad enough for me to really, really notice it unless I'm really paying attention, but I don't know. In Let's Go, it felt a little bit more like they were consistent with the aesthetic, you know? So, oh, they do sell Moo Moo Milk here, and it's only 600 Poké Dollars. Well, that's not too bad. So yeah, you could check the school store. They've probably got some rotating stock as you go further in the game, but nothing particularly incredible for right now, and I definitely don't need any potions, because you get so many on the ground that I barely ever need to use any to begin with, so. That guy's got an East Sea... No, that was a West Sea Shellos. Never mind, the East Sea ones are the blue ones. Alright, so there's a couple of events we can do. Like I said, Professor Jacques has an event in his lab, because we've registered 100 species of Pokemon, caught 100 species for our Pokedex, so. Yeah, I've been pretty quick on the draw. Evolving them has really helped out with that, so. Mr. Jock, you don't have to get so... Yeah, I was going to say, You're getting a little involved. It's late at night. Let's tone it down a little bit. It's almost my bedtime. Actually, it's funny because in the fall semester when I go back to school on let's see, today's Saturday, so it won't be today, but on Monday and Wednesday nights, I have to go to bed at 9:30 in the evening because I have to be awake at 5 a.m. the next morning. Because I have hospital rotations that start in the fall semester, and I have to be at the hospital rotation by 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's a 40-minute drive, and I want to make sure I don't, I get a parking spot so I don't have to like park 6 blocks away, so because it's pretty busy at that hospital. Anyway, for catching 100 species of Pokemon, he gives you 20 more Ultra Balls, which, I mean, I guess, but I've already found like 25 of those on the ground. Can't you give me something more interesting? But yeah, the next goal is 200 species, and if I remember correctly, the last goal is just finishing out the Pokedex, which you cannot do unless you do trades with other people. So you either need a friend locally that has the opposite version of the game than the one that you have, or you need Nintendo Switch Online in order to do it, so... I don't know how I feel about that, honestly, considering Nintendo Switch Online is like, what, $60 a year or something? Might even be more, I don't know. I don't have it, so I couldn't tell you. I'm going to be slow here because that lets this Fluffy fall asleep. Look at this little goober sleeping. Sleeping so soundly. Not a care in the world. That Toxel should go to sleep too, but, Trying to bury that Gen 4 lore book, huh? Something like that. I guess so. Give me some Master Balls if you want the Pokedex done so bad. I know you can make them at the 3D printer at the Blueberry Academy. Come on, I know you can do better than that. Hi, Nurse Miriam. Maybe? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. I feel like I'm just the same as I was. Oh, okay. If you say so. We have had some crazy experiences, yeah. Well, okay, sure. Got a minute to sit down? And then we realized he had hyponatremia. The end. I really, again, I wish they did a little bit with, like, where she actually reacts to one of the recent events that you did, rather than just saying, wow, that's super cool. Like, you weren't listening to me at all, were you? Oh, boy. Well, you could try new things every single day if they ever let you out of here, but you're here literally 24/7. I could come here day or night and you'll still be doing your job. So... Really? Some of the school nurses at the schools I went to taught the health classes as well, so I don't know about that. Oh, yeah, well, there's that. So I suppose that would be a bit of a problem. Huh. It's kind of surprising. Don't you need to know, like, a lot of anatomy and physiology? I would think that having to know all of that to be the school nurse would make it a little easier to study for that stuff, but I guess it's different for everybody. Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. It's all good. I don't mind talking. Okay. And I think that's all the events for now. I think we might be able to do one more with Nurse Miriam right now, but nope, that's all of hers actually as well. Does my dorm room update at all with any new stuff? I haven't honestly checked this to see if it updates over the course of the game. It does not. This is exactly the same as it looked when I left right before the treasure hunt began. Even the towel is still hanging on the drying area. It would be nice if there was, like, any updates at all on it, like it showed off, I don't know, some of the pictures that you took when you finished the Titan battles or got gym badges or any of that stuff, but no, apparently not. I'm asking for too much. I mean, I shouldn't ask for too much considering the fact that when I try to go out of the school without turning the camera, the game glitches out and forces me into like unending void, basically. But, you know, it's there. Okay, so I think we've done enough BSing and beating around the bush here. Let's actually head off to East Province Area 1 and work on some of the trainers we need to fight. I'm going to go to this Pokemon kiosk here, actually. There's the nurse in Hogwarts, then there's the nurse that doesn't know how to open a pack of bandages. You can find both in schools, yeah. I guess there's a little bit of everything. It just kind of depends on how in-depth the nurse is, you know. So, Alright, so, dangerous area. Wandering over there will get you closer to a Team Star base, but again, as I said previously, the Tauros out here are vicious, so just be careful as you're wandering around. Keep your eyes up, just in case the Tauros decide they want to run right into you. Wouldn't be so good, so... Oh no, this is the one that I get confused all the time, because this is a 2-star Cacnea. This is Terra Bug, I think. Like, it might look like a rock, but it's actually Terra Bug. I think. And I mean, I guess you can kind of tell from the color of the crystal, but I'm not so sure about that. 2 stars is level 20. Master McEwen can take care of this one. We haven't caught a Cacnea yet, so why not? We'll catch one. We can catch one in the Asado Desert. And actually, I was strongly considering using a Cacturn at one point for the team. I think I mentioned it before, but there was the other team that I would have used for this playthrough was a Sandstorm-focused team. It would have had a Barraskewda, a Bronzong, a Salazzle, a Hippowdon, a Cacturn. Oh no, it is Terra Rock. Okay. Yeah, I get, as you can tell, I get Terra Rock and Bug confused because I literally just did that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Barraskewda, Bronzong, Ampharos, I think, was another one in the team. Salazzle, Hippowdon, and Cacturn. That doesn't sound right. And maybe Ampharos was something else. I don't know. I'm wasting precious time. Hang on. Oh, and I shouldn't be wing attacking either. That's because I'm thinking, oh yeah, Terra Bug, so I should be low sweeping it. Tauros being vicious, how surprising. Yeah, you wouldn't think so, right? Oh, Cacnea, I love these little guys. No, Drifloon, run! Get out of here, you're gonna get your ass kicked by this Payback or the Terra Rock type move. He got to use Payback even though he had 0 HP. I don't really understand the mechanics of these sometimes, because sometimes they use a move when they're out of HP, and it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but... whatever. Cacnea, you're mine. I'll be having that. Actually, Terra Rock's not a bad Terra type for Cacnea either, because it gets, obviously it has grass and dark coverage, but it can also learn Stomping Tantrum, if I remember correctly, which is a ground type move. So, ground rock coverage, again, we talked about this. So, but then again, Cacnea already gets pretty good coverage because it can get Drain Punch later, so it has fighting dark coverage. Although, I don't think Cacturn's dark type move pool in this game, physical moves anyway, is particularly good. Mostly because the premier physical dark type move is Crunch, and obviously Cacturn doesn't have teeth, so like can't learn that. They just need to give it something else, like Throat Chop or something, but I don't think it gets Throat Chop in this game, so... I don't even know if Throat Chop's a TM in this game, now that I think about it. It was in Gen 8, but... I don't know why I remember that about Gen 8, but barely anything else. Oh, you know, we probably have a Firestone, so we could evolve our Capsicid while I'm thinking about it, but... Excuse me. Let me just check if Cacnea went to the right box. He did not, so... Or she did not, so off you go. There you go. Yeah, one of the other nice things, though, about these Terra raids is that, obviously, the captures are guaranteed, so if you haven't caught a ton of Pokemon yet and you want to make sure that you increase your capture rates a little bit, might not be a bad idea to do some Terra raids, because the captures are guaranteed. Alright, what outbreak is this? Oh, an outbreak of wild Tauros. Gee, I don't know that I want that. Oh, we're running with the bulls now, that's for sure. I'll take this Litleo, though. We might as well catch a Tauros here at the raid, especially since one of them is probably going to run directly into me anyway in about 2 seconds. That one literally came out of nowhere over there. You see what I'm talking about? I shouldn't leave you in a fire type, actually. Lieutenant, why don't you come and use a couple of Ice Grips so we can work on that. Cacnea's teeth aren't in its mouth, silly. Yeah, they're on its head instead. This has big Beedrill energy. Yeah, I'm getting attacked by a bunch of Beedrill. I just used Smackdown, didn't I, instead of Vice Grip. Oh, I'm off the ball today. That's okay, though. I was going to say, this isn't going to do a ton of damage to begin with because it's a Clauncher. We'll be okay. But yeah, I'm about to be assaulted in about 2 seconds once this battle's over by that Tauros that is still trying to charge me, despite the fact that I am very busy at the moment. But we have Pokédolls, so I could always just, like, get on Miraidon, get attacked, throw a Pokédoll, get away, and then take, like, one of the other Tauros where I can sneak up on them, you know? So. It's probably better to have the Lieutenant in, like, normally anyway, like, as the first Pokemon other than Magnemite, because he's in the slow experience group, so he's going to need more than anybody else, but, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm kind of just trying to wait a second before I go out because I know the Tauros are trying to ram into me off screen right now. So, alright, let's get the heck away from them for a second first. Far enough away for them to despawn even. And then we can go back in. And we can creep around so they don't see me. Are we sure this isn't an outbreak of wild little Leo? Because holy man, look at all of them. I'll take that too, thank you. Alright, where'd all the Tauros go? They're right behind me, aren't they? Would have been really funny if I turn around, there's just a whole herd. I'm like, well, there's a Tauros, but that one's not part of the outbreak, I don't think. Maybe it is, because there's another one. I'm gonna get the jump on you this time. How do you like it? I will in a minute anyway. There we go. Phew! In the herds here, you actually can't find the... There's special breeds of Tauros that you can find in some of the herds, but the herds that you can find those breeds in are not these ones. There's other herds of Tauros in other areas of the game later where you can find... I think in Violet version it's the Aqua breed, if I remember correctly, so it's a water fighting type, which is pretty cool. There's also the Blaze breed, which is in Scarlet, if I remember correctly, and that one's fire fighting. So... if you like those typings, hey, go for it. Wow, that was kind of pathetic, but I guess it is a Tauros, and this Magnemite isn't exactly strong yet. Maybe I'll teach him the Thunderbolt TM, because I'm not planning on having Toxel be a special attacker, so I could give you a stronger move just to work with. I'm going to use Spark, actually. Yes, is lit Leo, even. I don't know if that's enough, but I'm going to throw an Ultra Ball and hope for the best. Yeah, I didn't think so. Even with the surprise attack, it wasn't enough. But at least we're getting good luck with the Paras. I could attack again, but I kind of just want to throw another ball. Oh, good, and it's raining. Did I ever talk about why I'm not using a fire type on my final team? I guess we haven't gotten the 6th team member, so that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But this is the reason why I'm not using a fire type in this game, because it can just randomly start raining for no reason. And even if you dispel the rain, there's, I think, still a glitch in the game where the rain effect will still be in play, even if you, I don't know, use Cloud 9 to dispel it or use a different weather condition. The other weather condition will fail because the rain is just in effect and it came into effect randomly, so the other weather conditions won't work to change it. And again, even if you use Cloud 9 to dispel it, the rain, if you look on the status effects screen, the rain effect is still in play. So fire types just get screwed in this game at random because all of a sudden their moves will just be 50% less effective for no reason. So it might be better not to use a fire type in this game. It means rock types are back on the menu, which is a good thing because rock types don't get to do nearly enough things in most of these games. But yeah, so hey, it's a thought. Maybe use a rock type instead of a fire type this time. If you need a fire type move, use it as a coverage move for one of your other Pokemon. So. Anyway, the ultimate goal here is to... Well, I guess I'm going to look at this raid while I'm here and probably get run over while I'm at it. Terra fighting 2-star Pikachu. I'll evolve a Pichu eventually, so I'm just gonna take the LP and run. But the ultimate goal is to get over to this watchtower first of all, because one of the 5 trainers I want to fight is over here. I forget exactly where she is, but should find her within not too much time, as long as she's not stuck in the middle of a herd of wild Tauros. I'm gonna go up here. This is usually a mistake. And the reason why this is usually a mistake is because usually a herd of wild Tauros spawns directly below this, well, there's one of them right there, directly below this tower, and then you end up having to jump down and trying to, like, fend off the whole herd while trying to get off this tower. But it is a fly point, so it's probably worth it to grab it no matter what. So. Alright, so let's grab the coins from this Gimmighoul. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, I taught you Crunch off screen. I also taught Houseplant Giga Drain off screen in between episodes, so might as well use it for the absolute overkill that it probably is. Because I don't need you to be captured this time, Gibbigle. I just need your coins in your treasure chest there. Thank you. Rare candy at the top, that's good. Yeah, there's the herd right down there. But you have to jump off the top to get to this Tailwind TM here. So there you go. There's also a Gimmighoul there, but it's okay. There's another Tauros over there, and I think it's already noticed me, so... I think that's the trainer right there, actually. Oh, there's a Toadschool over here. If I'm not getting run over by a Tauros, I can show you something with Toadschool. If they notice you, they'll run away. And I literally just hear Squidward's footsteps whenever they run away. All I hear is... It's really funny. I don't know why it's really funny, but it is really funny. I guess I'm just easily amused as usual, so... But yeah, this is a Wiglet Wugtrio situation where this is not a Tentacool, it's a Toadschool instead. So, okay, I think we're splitting hairs here, but I suppose this one can walk upright, so... It's funny, though, because usually the games where Tentacool is not present and the rare situations where it's not are the games where I'm like, yeah, you know, a Tentacool would be pretty cool to have in this game. So. Oh, well. I think a Giga Drain's in order. No, that's what I want to do to you, only a little stronger. Actually, a Giga Drain might not be in order because this thing is Grass Ground type. I was using it because it was resisted, but it is not resisted. Whoops. I should have used Earth Power. Oh well. I can always catch it later. Just, you know, randomly defeat this one thing out in the middle of nowhere for no reason, I guess. Okay, I think you're the trainer I'm looking for. Who have I got out here? Magnemite, that works. This is such a ridiculous Pokemon, but you can respect the audacity of it. It is such a ridiculous Pokemon, but honestly... And you know what the trouble is, though? Is that, like, this one, Toadschool, has just that silly little running animation, right? Well... its evolution does not have a silly little running animation. It just, like, flops all of its legs directly in front of it like it's galloping, which is almost sillier, but at the same time, it's like, no, I want you to run just like Toadschool, except this time with 12 legs instead of just 2. But, anyway, I don't know. Alright, so Flittle. Let's go off into Shaylee. Keep Magnemite out until Magnemite gets enough experience to actually be on level with everybody else. Or just about, anyway. The level cap after the Team Star Fire base that this student was talking about is... So that one is 26, so we're going to get everybody to 26 first. Then, once we've done that, we're going to try to get everybody up to level 30, because that's where the next gym battles level cap is. Which, conveniently... Oh look, Moxie procced. Which, conveniently, is the level that Magnemite evolves into Magneton to begin with. So, hey, I'll take it. Alright, well, we don't want Shaylee in here on an Azumarill, so let's get the heck out of here before that becomes a problem. Roxas, you're in. Because I think this thing knows Play Rough, so you can resist it. It might know it at this level. I'm not 100% sure. But if it does, then this will be a good prediction. Okay, well, Slam might hurt a little bit. This one doesn't have huge power. Never mind. Nuzzle him! Ow. Can paralyze him, and then we can pivot around from where Roxas is. I'll probably just pivot directly into Houseplant, because Houseplant should resist just about everything. Well, it doesn't resist Slam, but it will deal nominal damage that we will heal back almost immediately with Giga Drains. But what if this Azumarill is the rare Sap Sipper Azumarill? No, that's a hidden ability, and as far as I'm aware, trainers in like this game don't have hidden ability Pokemon on their teams. Even if it's a situation like with Rockruff, where you can catch it in the middle of the game. But yeah, as you can see, wanted to incorporate this battle in because of the Azumarill. Quite a bit of experience we can get from fighting this one, so... no, I don't need Screech. Yeah, missed opportunity to animate it exactly like Squidward. Yeah, I know. I mean, they already halfway did it with Toadstool, so why not go all the way with it, right? You're on fire! No, literally, you're on fire. Oh my god! Well, I'm glad I'm not on fire because I don't want Houseplant to evolve with fire on me because that wouldn't be so good. All right, you've seen Lilligant do a little dance. Let's see if you've gained some pointers from your elder floral sister. Nice. So, Smoliv has evolved into Doliv. Fair enough. And she'll evolve again in about 10 levels, but until then she gets to stand around like a Curlia, only grass type. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for her, I guess. So that's one evolution. So we've already done several evolutions earlier on in the stream, but that's one evolution of many. We'll see another one in approximately one level. Depending on how many levels we get today, we might see a third one out of Shaylee and even a fourth one out of Magnemite, but we'll see. So that's one of the trainers I wanted to fight over in this section, but remember, we have to beat 5 of them in order to get the reward out of this area, so... Second one I want to fight is actually down here. And then the 3rd, 4th, and 5th ones... Oh, there's another herd. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th ones are actually way off to the west in an area that most people usually don't go to because they typically don't have access to climbing at this point, so we'll go off in that direction just to show something that's a little bit different from the usual. That lens flare actually hurts your eyes a bit. I can imagine. It's a little bit much. Houseplant is the fire. She's gonna have to put it out in a minute, or else it's gonna burn her to death. But she is the fire. And this trainer has a Sunflora, which again is worth a decent chunk of experience. Lieutenant Creighton is not going to stay in on this thing, but hey, it was worth a shot anyway. I could pivot out into Magnemite. Because it'll resist, unless this thing has Earth Power, which I kind of doubt, but no, you know what, Gyro Ball won't do that much, so let's just pivot into Roxas. We'll nuzzle it and then acid it for a little bit until we're almost ready to go down, and then we'll swap out into somebody else, maybe Interceptor. No, we might only get one nuzzle plus acid off before we switch. I guess I could use Flail, because I'm going to be a little low on HP, but... Then again, this thing's just going to keep getting HP back from the Leech Seed, so... Excuse me. But yeah, the Lens Flare was probably from the sun coming up. I think it's sunrise now in the game, or at least it was a second ago. So... Excuse me. 15, let's see, it did 8, 7, yeah. I gotta get you out of here. Okay, yeah, Gyro Ball's not going to do much. Interceptor, you're up. Use one of your Elemental Fang moves. Yeah, that did a little bit of damage. I guess it's a Sunflora, so I should expect it to do a little bit of damage. Probably won't KO, but, you know, it'll get us close. Worry Seed, huh? That's not Leech Seed. Oh, you gave my dog bad dreams. What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of an asshole does that to a dog? It's not a wonder he doesn't like you. It's not a wonder he got a crit. Poor baby's gonna have a bad dream until we leave this battle in about 3 seconds. No! I hope you choke on your tongue twister for what you did to my dog. Yeah, it sure sounds like it. Was it? Because you didn't have a type advantage in that case. Maybe he's just glad to see somebody else who likes Sunflora as much as he does. Then again, the gym leader doesn't even use a Sunflora, so I don't know how he feels about that one. Oh, rare bone. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, so... That's 2 trainers out of 5 down. So now what we want to do is, instead of going back here and heading west, because if we head west from here, we'll proc the Team Star Fire Crew base instead. And where I want to go is up here, actually, along these cliff faces. So we're going to go all the way back to South Province Area 3's Pokemon Kiosk, and we're just going to head north from there, and that'll let us go from there. So No offense to Sunflora trainers, but they've been EXP pinatas to use since Gen 2. They do make for some pretty good experience, so I mean, I'm not really surprised by that. And Sunflora is not particularly tricky to take down either. It's okay for, you know, Gen 2 Pokemon, but it's not exactly the strongest Pokemon out there. It's got good special attack, but that's about all it's got. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Alright, take another trip north. In this case, this trip north won't be a trip to the frozen north. It'll just be a trip to the north. Alright, Terra Fairy something here. Let's see what it is. 3-star Terra Fairy Zorua. I think it's a Zorua anyway. 3-star Terra Fairy might be a little tough at this point. I'll just take the LP with me. You'd be able to catch a Zorua without having to deal with its illusions, but, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, because you do have to deal with Zorua's illusions in order to catch it in this game, but like I said, we'll talk about that later. Alright, so where I want to go is all the way over here to where it's grassy again, because this will take us up into East Province Area 1. So, head over here, grab a Seed Bomb TM. It's a good start. Now, there's a tough trainer in this area. We might have seen him previously, but he's over on one of those little jutting cliffs there. I don't remember which one it is. But we're going to kind of wrap around, basically. So we're going to go up this west side here and fight a couple of trainers, grab a couple of TMs that are in this area that are pretty good. And then once we've wrapped around, we'll come back and fight him. Anything over on these cliffs? No. It would show me if there was. Okay. But once we get the 5 trainers in, and there's a total of 2 tough trainers. There's actually one that's down in the base area, but he's closer to the Pokemon kiosk of East Province Area 1, so I'm not really worried about him. Here's an Ice Beam TM, just chilling out up here. I'm going to hold on to that for later. I don't actually want Lieutenant Creighton to learn that just yet. There's another Pokemon that'll benefit from it a little bit more than he will. This isn't going to take me too close to the Team Starbase, is it? No, it's not. Okay, well, down we go then. Take a dive there, Miraidon. Grab some more items, and then actually the little grove that I was talking about with the apple in them is the grove that's over there, but I'll show you in a second once we grab this and see what's in this right here. Okay, rest TM. I guess that's fine. 3-star Terra Fairy Fletchinder. Well, I've already got a Fletchinder, so I'll take the LP and go. Your reason for living? Oh my god, man. Don't gotta get so in-depth with it. This is a Pokemon game. Is this the right trainer? I'm pretty sure this is the right trainer. I want to fight this guy, and then there's one trainer up here I want to fight, and then another one that's, I think, over here somewhere? I should have looked at the map. You know what I didn't do is I didn't look at the map before I did this. So let me go get the map up real quick. It's a grass type. Oh, I love Zorua, like foxes in general. Yes, I mean, I can see why you would like it then. Yeah. Let me just look at the map on my phone real quick. No, I don't want the maps to show the... Anyway, here it is. Now, obviously, the map on your phone is a little bit tricky because it shows all of the like pinpoints on it, but you can hide all of them, so it doesn't really have as much stuff. Let's see. So trainer number 1 is there. The one that's down right from here is the one I want to avoid. Okay, I know which ones I want to go fight now. So it's this guy, and then there's one here, and then there's one here by this tree. So we'll fight those 3. I'm going to leave the map up on the other screen here as well, just so I have it. Alright, so let's fight this guy. Figure out his reason for living. We'll go check the Applin Grove, and then we'll go from there. Well, I'm glad that you feel so strongly about your work. Most people don't feel that way about the jobs that they do. So. But yeah, he's got a Rotom, which is a not evolving Pokemon, so obviously it'll be worth a little bit more experience than the other Pokemon we could fight in this area. Might be a little bit of a trickier fight, obviously, because it's a Rotom, but, you know. Oh, you know what I could do? I'm probably at risk of a Thunder Shock or something, but I could use Smackdown on it, because Rotom has Levitate as an ability. But if we use Smackdown on it, we can do the same thing that we did in the previous gym when we fought Ayana. We can knock its Levitate off, basically it nullifies its ability. I guess I didn't make that fully clear because I was hyped about the fight going exactly the way it should have. But now if we were to switch into Shaylee and use Bulldoze, Levitate would no longer apply, so Rotom would be hit by the ground type move. I'm going to pivot through Magnemite first, though, so Magnemite gets some good chunks of experience out of this. I like the little salute that Magnemite does when he comes out. He, like, waves his magnet like, hey, how are ya? That's silly. Well, Confuse Ray's not a whole lot of fun, but that's fine. I can just pivot again. Of course, the problem is that Shaylee's holding a power item, so she is at risk of getting Confused Rayed herself, but she'll be fine. She'll power through it. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I'll Bulldoze. I did the Smackdown, so I might as well. And you can catch your own Rotom over by Levincia, if I remember correctly. There's actually a lighthouse that's over nearby. Not a watchtower, so I don't think it's a fly point, but there's a lighthouse nearby where you can catch... There's, like, town Pokemon, or Pokemon that are usually found closer to towns, like Grimer, and Rotom's one of those, so... who's getting Hone Claws? I don't know if I want Hone Claws. Oh, I definitely don't want it on Clauncher. No. You're not even normally supposed to be a physical attacker. I'm using them ironically right now. Okay, fair enough. What work do you do all the way up here? I guess we'll never know. I suppose that's true, at least. You don't want to get kicked in the teeth. That hurts. I've been kicked in the teeth before. It's not a whole lot of fun. Didn't lose any teeth, but one of them is probably a little bit twisted from how it should be. Salandit, level 27. Wow. Wonder if that one's guaranteed female. Because then you could get a Salazzle out of it, obviously. So if I remember correctly, there's items that you can pick up along the ground here. Not these items, but like the shiny spot items. Oh, there's an Applin right there. So here's one of the ones that you can pick up. I forget if this one's a fixed spawn or not. I guess I'll catch it. Why not? It's already noticed me, so... I could also catch a Teddy Ursa while I'm here, too. But yeah, so you can catch one of these guys, and then that'll... You can then grab one of the apples off the ground here, and use it to evolve it. Or you can just go buy them now that we have 3 badges. Okay, good, we didn't KO him. And do one of these. He's a himbo for hire. Something like that. Sir, what work do you do up here? It doesn't seem like there's any work for you to do with those safety glasses and hard hat. Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why. Every time I see the word himbo, all I can think of is how people associate Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. I think it might have been that was my first association with the word himbo, was seeing a meme of Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. So that might be what that is. We can make another Pokedex claim. That's cool. Get our EXP candies. There we go. Few mediums, so that's 9,000 experience that you can just plop onto a Pokemon now if you so choose. Hey, Venonat, you haven't happened to see an apple around here on the ground, have you? Oh, that Teddy Ursa turned around. I guess this Teddy Ursa is the one I'll catch then. The smaller one. With a triangle for a mouth. It was only a triangle because its mouth wasn't fully loaded in because we were too far away with the camera, so... It's accurate? Okay, fair enough. I always liked The Emperor's New Groove as a movie, but I just thought it was funny, honestly. I don't think I really think about the characters that way, so... Okay, well, with the para, it's probably good enough if I throw a Great Ball now, so... Ursaring's probably a pretty good Pokemon to have in this game, though, because they gave it an evolution in Legends Arceus, so it actually can use an Eviolite and be a pretty good tank alongside being a very strong physical attacker, so... It's kind of interesting. I don't think you can get Ursaluna in this game, though, but it is still considered not, like, Ursaring, that is still considered not fully evolved, now that it has the evolution, even if it's not available in the game itself. So, you could always use it for that. That was a cute Pokedex picture there. Well, there's Pikachu here. I was just kind of looking to see if the apples were around here, but I suppose if they're not here, excuse me, we could always find one of the apples in Tag Tree Thicket. That's it. So there's another place where we can find apples a little bit later. We won't be going there just yet, but we will be going there soon. Hopefully we'll get to some place with more solid ground soon, though, because the ground was literally just warping. Deerling, what are you guys doing with that little Leo? You do know that any sweet nothings he's whispering into your ear are lies, right? He's a carnivore. He's going to eat you one of these days. Alright, well then if I remember correctly... Okay, I'm not quite on the level with it here, but if we follow the river all the way to the waterfalls here, and then we climb up the hill here... We can get a rare candy there, that's not bad. But if we climb all the way up to the top of the waterfall here, and then follow the river all the way to its destination point... There we go, now I'm on the wall. Grab another TM up here. This one for waterfall, guess that makes sense. But keep following it all the way to the end. We'll get something else out of this, too. I'll grab the other items while I'm here, because they're probably pretty good. Yeah, full restore, that's not too bad. Whole giant flock of rufflet. I thought the TM was around here. Maybe it's on the other side of the thing. There's an EXP candy large. That gives 10,000 experience, if I remember correctly. So, quite a lot. This is the TM right here. It's another Giga Drain TM, and despite the fact that we already got one of those for Smoliv when she was a Smoliv, we're going to need a second one for one of the Team Star base raids, because it's just a helpful move to have, so... Just so that you know where I got the second one from, that's where I got the second one from, is right there. I think, if I remember correctly, the other... Well, I don't want to go down there, because there's like 6 Tauros. Holy man. The other trainers are down here. While we're here, though, we can go all the way down this cliff. There's a cave here. And inside the cave is, well, Elite East Province Area 3, but there's a Dark Pulse TM right inside the cave there. I don't think I need that for anybody. No, because Shaylee's not going to need it because she's going to be physical. So, but if you need it for a special attacking Dark type, there you go. You guys don't mind if I grab that, do you? You! Me! What do you want, lady? Don't just say you to people, that's rude. You can say hi or hello or something like that. I think actually she's not the one that I want to fight, because if I remember right, there's another trainer over here somewhere. There they are, right over there. You can lock your map if you press in the right stick there, sir. Hang on, show me your phone, I'll help you. Old people and not knowing their technology. But yeah, the other trainer over there, I don't remember what she has, but it's not a Komalo, so it's definitely not going to give as much experience as this Komalo will give. It probably won't, I mean, this Komalo probably won't give a ton of experience because it's level 18, but, you know, it'll give some. So, it'll give enough to make a difference anyway. I don't have any fighting type moves yet, do I? Nope. Okay, well. Interceptor, we'll just go into you because you can hit pretty hard with Play Rough. Inside this cave is lighting problems. Again. Yeah, just about. Apparently a lot of Emperor's New Groove was improv, which explains a lot. Yeah, I could see that actually being the truth, honestly. Considering the movie itself, I could definitely see a lot of it being improv. So, Deerling and Litleo, I'd read that tragic... I'd read that tragic romance. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, I couldn't see that with the heart in the way. I wish I could get rid of that heart in the bottom right corner of the YouTube chat. I don't know why it's there, but it doesn't really help. Because it makes it so I can't see anything. I'm going to go into Lieutenant. We don't need somebody sleeping on the job. Shouldn't say that Interceptor deserves a rest, but we'll let the Lieutenant finish this out, is what I'm saying. Actually, I should double check and see... how the EVs are doing now for everybody, because probably the EVs on all of my other team members that didn't have their EVs all the way up, they're probably getting pretty close. Maybe not Shaylee, because I had to put her in the PC pretty quickly, but Toxel's probably pretty close, and the Lieutenant's probably getting there. Yeah, well, a little bit of experience, so not too bad. I mean, you were spinning quite a lot. He tried spinning, that's a good trick. Yes, you can, actually. Well, no, you figured it out. It shouldn't make you feel dumb. You figured out the solution, so that should make you feel smart, not dumb. Okay, so what was I doing? Yeah, checking EVs. That's what I'm doing. Sorry, little Leo, I don't have time to fight you right now. You won't have any. You're done with that and that. Okay, I can actually take the power bracer off of you because you're done with attack. You're almost done with attack, and you're done with special attack. All right, cool. So let's take that off of you. We'll hold on to the power lens here because I'll need that for another team member later when I actually, you know, have them. But I should take this phone call. Give me 1 second. Never mind, they hung up. I was gonna mute and then take the phone call, but they hung up, okay, on me. So it's like, okay, I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Yeah, anyway, what are we doing? Let's see. So I need to go down to the tree that's down there, because that's where the other trainer is, and that's trainer number 5. Then, once we're done fighting them, we can fight the 2 tough trainers in the area, although, considering my health, nah, I don't think I'll go to the Pokemon Center. I think I'll be fine up here. And it's a trainer that not a lot of people get to fight anyway, because they don't usually find the guy up here until way later, because they don't climb up here, so... Oh, he must be working at the same place as the other guy did, where Kronk, the worker, or whatever his name was over there. I think it was Javier or something. He's got a Greedent, so Greedent will be worth good experience. And my Gyro Balls here will do absolutely nothing, although Electro Ball will do good damage, especially if I paralyze this thing. Because Greedent is slow as all get out. And I was surprised by this because I actually evolved my Squavit into a Greedent. Greedent knows Body Slam at level 22, which is a pretty good normal type move, all things considered. Good job tanking those hits, Magnemite. That'll help out quite a bit. Some part of your soul wants there to be a little EV icon for EV stats. Boy, that would be funny, actually. It'd be a good little, nice touch, I think, but, you know. It's like, hey, that's a good pun. That didn't warm me up at all. As a matter of fact, I'm colder. Fight in Pokemon battles, and then fight some more, because that does what you need to do in order to warm up. Alright, so Interceptor, you're a little behind on experience. Oh, no, not that much. Never mind. I was going to say, you might need a little more from everybody else. If these Tauros keep harassing me, I'm going to send you out in front and let you beat them up as part of your final training arc. As a matter of fact, go for it, because this one made the mistake of turning his back on me. So now he's going to get it. No Intimidate for you. Own Tempo. Get out of here. Beat up this Tormentor there, Interceptor. Forge your flame in the fires of battle with this wild animal. There we go. Got him. Okay, well, he can learn Baton Pass, but I don't think he needs to learn Baton Pass because he's already got a pretty good status move in Yawn, so... And I literally meant it when I said forge yourself in the fires of battle, because Interceptor is evolving now that he's level 26. Ah, my bread has finally baked in the oven. He has finally become the loaf that he was always meant to be. Darkspun. And Darkspun is actually a very interesting Pokemon, as you'll see in just a moment. Its ability is pretty nifty, and it actually helped bring this whole team together, all things considered. So, how does he fit in those pants? That's a good question. All right, no Tauros jump scare, thank you. So, Darkspun. Interceptor. He has a bark, which makes sense, I suppose. He is a dog. But he has also now, as his ability, instead of Own Tempo, which, I mean, it's a shame. I'll miss Own Tempo because he'll be able to get confused now. But he has a well-baked body, which allows him to... It's kind of like Flash Fire, except instead of boosting the power of his Fire-type moves, he gets +2 to his defense for every Fire-type move that he gets hit by. So I can literally, if it's a Pokemon that's out that's got a Fire-type move that I'm concerned about, I can just switch Interceptor in and, hey, +2 defense, which will come in handy because, as you may recall, previously, I forget if it was last part or the part before that, we went and got a Body Press TM, which, as it turns out, I think he should be able to learn, if I can ever find it here. There it is. Yeah, and he can learn it, so... Body Press deals more damage the higher your defense stat is, so that means I can make some strategic pivots and just, you know, kind of have him do that. Although, I don't know if I want him to learn it just yet, because Fire Fang and Ice Fang are two move types that I don't have access to just yet, so maybe I'll hold off on doing that for now. I'll wait until we get access to either a Fire-type move or an Ice-type move, which we do have. We have Ice Beam, but, I mean, we'll have other Pokemon that we can learn those, or put those moves on, so there you go. Okay. Alright, so with that, I guess, get Lieutenant Kraden out. Now, do I want to heal by going back to the Pokemon Center? We haven't gone to that one just yet, but that's for East Province Area 2, so we'll worry about that later. I think if I remember correctly, the trainer is like right here-ish by this fly point. So maybe I'll go back here, I'll heal, and then we'll just kind of go up there. How about that? Isn't that like Lightning Rod and Water Absorb, that like range of abilities? Yeah, it's kind of adding to that range of abilities. It is kind of a trend that they're doing. I just think this one's interesting because it's on a fairy-type Pokemon, so usually when you have a Pokemon that it's like, when this gets hit by this type of move, it's a Pokemon that is already that type. But in this particular case, it's a fairy-type bread dog that is so well baked in the oven that he literally can't be hit by fire anymore. He's quite literally got a bread skin that's so hard that fire can't do anything to it, which I just think is nifty. But it made the team come together pretty nicely because Interceptor's resistances allow him to not have the same weaknesses as a fire type would have if they had Flash Fire. So it lets him have Fairy-type resistances while also effectively being immune to fire, which is pretty nice. It let me use a type of Pokemon that I don't normally get to use, basically, because typically it would create 3 fire weaknesses on my team, and usually if I have 3 weaknesses to the same type, it's a little off-putting because then it makes it a little tougher to switch around that type. So I usually try to limit it to having only 2 weaknesses or less to the same type on the team, but, you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Here's the guy I'm looking for. One of the top trainers. You're gonna meet a client all the way up here? For what exactly? Oh boy. You guys are passing around samples up here? What kind of samples are we talking about that you need to meet somebody all the way up here? There's some weird NPCs in this game with some shady dialogue, let me tell you what. There's another guy in South Province Area 5 that we'll see in just a little bit that also has some particularly shady things to say about a client. Although I think in that case the client is you, but I could be misremembering that. I was going to Smackdown, but then I was like, you know, Water Pulse probably does just about enough to KO. So let's just do Water Pulse. I could have swapped in Magnemite, I suppose, because now Lieutenant Kraden is not particularly strong for the final Pokemon this guy's got, even though I'm pretty sure it's a Houndoom. Yeah, it is a Houndoom. Okay, well, maybe we'll use a Super Potion or something, I don't know. Because he can probably KO me pretty easily from this range. So that's a little bit of a shame. It's level 24. I could make a tactical switch, tactical retreat out to Interceptor, although it's probably using a Dark-type move, so I guess we'll just switch into Shaylee instead. He's passing around energy powder, for sure. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I had a feeling he was using a Dark-type move. I guess Interceptor still would have been a good switch because he's got high defense now and he's got a resistance to that, but he doesn't exactly have a move to counter back. I guess Play Rough would do good damage, but, you know. See, now the tactical switch would be to switch after this, if this Bulldoze doesn't KO, and swap into Interceptor then, because the Fire Fang wouldn't do as much damage either. So. Yeah, sucks to be a gym leader. Oh, gym leaders have it rough sometimes around here, I'll tell you what. Alright, and the third is Krogunk, which... Poison Fighting... Do I have a Psychic-type move on this team? I don't think I do, not at the moment anyway. So... I mean, I would just leave Shaylee in because she'd normally be faster than a Krogunk, but she's still got a power item, so that means she's not going to be faster than a Krogunk, which would not be good for us. I'm just going to switch in Interceptor. It's probably safer than anything else. Magnemite would probably also do okay, but, well, fighting-type moves would do, excuse me, good damage there, too. pull that up a little bit. Oh, the Venoshock. Okay, well, good play, I suppose. But let's play rough instead of playing with poison. Alright, there we go. So some pretty good experience all the way around here. We've still got one more trainer left to fight in this area as well, and we're already pretty much at level 26, which is where we want to be. Oh. Okay, well, fair enough, I guess. You know, you do you. You don't have to go all the way up here to pay attention to cute Pokemon. You could literally just look at the Skiddo. Look at this little goober. Look at him go. You want a cute Pokemon, you could just turn around there, friend, but okay, fair enough. Magnemite, how much do you need to the next thing? 280. Okay, so what we'll do is we're at the level cap with most of our Pokemon right now, but we'll go fight the last tough trainer in the area who's just east of the Pokemon Center right here. He's down, like, northeast, I guess, down in that area. And we'll fight him, and then we'll go for the Team Star base, and we'll just go from there. And we can actually grab the item while we're here as well, although I'll just be coming back this way to grab it anyway, but we'll grab it while we're here. It won't help with anything that we're doing right now, but, you know, might as well grab it while we're here. Why not? What you got for me this time, sir? Oh, that was only 5? Huh. I thought that the ones up there, maybe the ones up there counted towards East Province Area 2. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. The map said they were part of East Province Area 1, so I'm going to pretend like they were part of East Province Area 1. I guess I could go fight somebody else while I'm at it, but... Nah, it's all good. The other trainers in the area don't have particularly strong Pokemon. I guess I could go fight the Dragon Tamer, because at least I know she's got rare Pokemon that I might have trouble registering in my Pokedex, but, like, you know... I'm sure you are, sir. I'm not doubting that. Look at the Skiddo. Cherish the Skiddo. Forfeit all mortal possessions to the Skiddo, etc. Of course. I mean, when you're that cute, how do you avoid doing that? It's really difficult. You know, actually, you'd probably be... well, I guess I'm stuck with you now because of Magnet Pull. But you'd probably have a pretty good chance of using Gyro Ball because Curly is pretty quick. So let's KO it with Gyro Ball. That's not bad. Not good, but not bad. We should win this 1v1 anyway. And I'll Spark to finish it off. And we avoided any confusion as well, so good job, Magnemite. Okay, well, Shaylee's up at level 27 now, so she's a little above the level cap, but that's okay. We won't be using her for that fight anyway. Zangoose! Man, this guy's pulling out the heavy hitters. This thing's tough at this level. Level 23 as well, so... I don't really have a good answer to this, honestly. Not for a switch in, anyway. I guess I could switch into Roxas, but I'd probably be taking a big hit if I did. I could switch into Interceptor and Yawn, and then pivot out after that, I guess. Is it just me, or is Magnemite too shiny? So they did this thing with Magnemite in this game, and some other Pokemon that have metal in them, where they give them, like, a chrome filter on it, and honestly, it kind of adds a little bit to the uncanny valleyness of some of the Pokemon, because the chrome filter that's on Magnemite is... I think they were literally just doing it because they could, and... sometimes it's a little bit much, like you said. It just sort of like, it's too much in the sunlight, you know? So, I could pivot now that I know he's going to sleep. I could pivot into Houseplant because I'll get a guaranteed turn of sleep before we Giga Drain, so let's pivot into Houseplant and let her Giga Drain the rest of his HP away. Actually, I don't even know if I've inflicted damage, so it might be 2 Giga Drains, but that's okay. Yeah, it'll be 2. But we can take back all the HP we just lost from Slash anyway, so... yeah, like they did that with, there's some fur animation on the Pokemon. The texture is different if Pokemon have fur. There's textures that are different if Pokemon are more like water creatures, so their skin is going to be a little more oily looking. It's interesting, I suppose, but I feel like the game already runs not well enough without all that texture stuff taken into account. So maybe focus on making the game run well rather than focusing on all of the texture work on the Pokemon. Like, the fidelity is appreciated, but I prefer like 30 to 60 FPS over the Pokemon having fur, you know? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the weird one. Well, here's a Noibat. We haven't seen one of those yet, but I think if I remember right, they're all the way on the other side of the region, so that's why we haven't seen them yet. Yeah, Roxas still needs experience to get to 27, so let's get him in here. He'll probably be there very quickly anyway in a minute, but we can always nuzzle this Noibat, and then from there we can switch into Magnemite and go for Electro Ball. Oh, good switch. Wing attack, huh? I gotta kind of, for lack of a better word, baby Roxas a little bit for right now, because he's not particularly strong, at least not until he evolves, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have Magnemite here, because I was like, well, if I have half of a viable electric type and another half of a viable electric type, at least we know they'll eventually work out together. So I'm actually going to go into the Lieutenant, because Magnemite's a little low on HP. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but just to be safe. Got to take these tough trainers seriously, you know. Well, Water Pulse isn't going to do a whole ton of damage, so let's just smack him down and then throw a Flash Cannon at him and finish. Oh, never mind. Okay. Wow, that wasn't even a crit. I guess Noibat isn't particularly bulky. Okay, Roxas is almost 27, so he'll get there from the next fight. Cool. I'm sure you won't, sir, but you can give up your money to me, at the very least. Well, yeah, I mean, you could use... You didn't have a Pokemon with Endure there, but you could use Endure to help you stick it out, I guess. I'm just going to fly back. I'm too lazy to go up the hill. Most people seem to agree that animation and performance is better than high-res graphics. Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment as well, but apparently the Pokemon Company has other ideas for what they wanted this game to be. Their vision was a little different, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to take a drink of water before we go to the Fire Crew base, because I will end up parched there if I don't. And, well, we need to switch in our specialists, but we'll switch our specialists in once we do the first fight that's over there, because the specialists don't need the experience points, but these ones do. And then where do I want to go after this? I could go to either South Province Area 4 or Area 5 after this. I don't know that it matters, because I think the highest level Pokemon in both areas is, in a trainer's team anyway, is level 25. So I think either one will work. Here's another Rain Dance TM, just to kind of hammer it home that it might be a good idea to have it for the next base if you want to use it, but there you go. And if we went up ahead of the base here, actually the Pokemon Center that's up the area from here to East Province Area 2, so the center's down there, and if you look before the camera panned over here, there's actually a roadblock in the way. So in order to get to the Pokemon Center over there, you'd have to jump past the roadblock by jumping over the river, so... Hey, Clive, what's up? Yes, I'm sure you are. Most normal students don't have to say they're normal, but, you know, you do you. Yeah, what's the goal here? Why'd you join the operation? Oh, okay. What kind of odd behavior are we talking about? Oh, yeah, that could be problematic, yeah. Well, if we keep going into the bases, I was going to say, we can figure out if those rumors are true or not. Oh, yeah, I guess that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Wow. And they're still enrolled? That's pretty lenient of the school to do. Huh. I was going to say, Clive, I don't know if you have that power, but I'm pretty sure we all know who he actually is. Oh, so that's why you needed to take matters into your own hands personally, huh? Well, I figured. Oh, speaking of which. Hang on, Cassiopeia, you're stuck deep in my pockets. Give me a second. Okay, you too, Clive. There we go. Now I gotcha. Hello? Well, my Pokemon, but no, it's just me. And my dog. My dog barking downstairs. Call her Subwoofer. Screenshots for the store page? You think he looks in the mirror and feels snappy in this outfit? Probably, yeah. Wouldn't be shocked. Screenshots for the store page. What was that in reference to? I don't remember what that was in reference to, sorry. Well, yeah, after the first one went down, I'll have to be careful with this one. But, yeah, we'll be fine. This one's not too bad either. We'll go grab that item in a little bit, so for now we don't really need it. I'll leave Magnemite in, but I'm going to switch it out shortly because the Fire Crew base, obviously, is going to have a Fire-type Pokemon as part of the guards for the base, so we'll switch in the Lieutenant after. Oh, the graphic design for recent games. Yeah, the screenshots for, like, the store page for them. Yeah, I could see... I don't know. In some situations, I could see, like, store pages even... Like, you think about this game, they even have a store page advertised on the menu here, and I could see that also being, like... It's almost like dead air. I know you're trying to advertise to the players, but, like, that doesn't need to be there. If they want to go to the store, you could just have them go to the main menu and go to the store. So, like, are you sure that that's not causing frame loss just being there, or... I don't know. You'll have to offensively come after me in self-defense. This is why you guys should have stayed in school, because that doesn't make any sense, sir. Sure, let's see if you can do it. I don't think you can, but we'll give it a shot, I guess. Houndour, huh? Well, at this point, I'm pretty well experienced with this Pokemon, so... It's level 25 and you didn't evolve it? What are you doing, man? Again, this is why they needed to stay in class, because good lord, these guys are delinquents. What is the problem here? Lieutenant, let's knock some sense into this guy. There's another problem, of course, though, and the other problem is, again, this soundtrack in the background is awesome, but these Team Star members have, like, one Pokemon. So you barely even get to hear the whole thing before dead, and then the fight's over. Like, I want to prolong it, but he's only got one Pokemon, and I've already been putzing around enough today. I guess you could listen to it on YouTube instead, but, you know. Oh, good, Toxel's level 27. Not bad. Good work, Roxas. Yeah, when it comes to super effective move from a Mega Launcher Clauncher, you're in a little trouble. So, yeah, that's me. You can call me by my first name, Jimmy. Yeah, I guess you gotta take him to school then. Have at him. Something like that, yeah. You do that. Get yourself rested up, and then I'll still beat you back with a different Pokemon next time. Or a different set of Pokemon. Excuse me. Hey, Clive. What's up? It's kind of interesting he's wearing the winter outfit jacket with the summer outfit pants. They don't let you mix and match yourself in the game, but some of the NPCs sure do. Yeah, I made it through the guard just fine. Oh. A Charcadet. Normally you don't see those in this area. I don't think. Charlos? Alright, whose idea of a nickname was that? You know this little fella there, Clive? Hi, Charlos. Nice to meet you. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So what's he doing all the way out? Oh, okay. Here. There he goes. I mean, that would make sense. They are the Fire Crew, after all. Okay, you take care of Charlos. Make sure he don't get hurt. I'll get my Pokemon ready to take on the base. Oh, after I get this phone call. Hello? Yeah, he weren't nothing. I had a water type, so. The Shadar squad, huh? Okay, well, that sounds like what I've heard about her. Well, they're gonna have a little trouble when they have to take me on while trying to quell her fury. Whatever that's all about. Okay, let's get to it then. Right. So, here's the base. Apparently I didn't have Houndour registered because I didn't see a single one, even though I saw 40 of them at the beginning of the game. Shaylee, are you done with the bracer? Yes, you are. Okay, good. We can take that off of you now. Thank you. And now I got to get some items for everybody here, I guess. Except Magnemite, he doesn't really need one. But, yeah, he'll be fine. Wow, you guys need quite a bit of experience to get to 27 where everybody else is. But I guess that makes sense because, you know, slow experience group, medium fast experience group. They're not going to be the stars of the show here for the next few minutes. For the next few minutes, the stars of the show will be our specialists. So let's get them out here, shall we? Magnemite, you can go down there. Doug Trio, go there. Clauncher, go there. Lycanroc, you're in. Houseplant, you can head over to your spot. There we go. Whoops. Put you there. And then put you there. Cool. Alright, so our specialists are out. The only thing that I need to do is I need to make sure I gave you Liquidation and Rain Dance. I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. Those are the only moves that I need for this particular fight. And then I just want to give you a Rost Berry, because if I remember correctly, obviously since this is the Fire Crew, there's a pretty good chance that we might get a burn here. So probably the best water type that you could use for this, there's several water types you can use for this, especially since there's a bunch of Rain Dance TMs all over the place that you could find. Barraskewda just has the highest attack and speed out of the ones that I wanted to use, but Gyarados would be a pretty good one. Pelipper would be a pretty good one, but there's a specific thing you have to do with Pelipper. I'll talk about it in a second. And probably Floatzel would be the best one, because if I remember correctly, Floatzel can have the Water Veil ability, which would completely prevent him from getting burned. So that's probably the best water type to use in this area, but water type is a pretty good one. I'll talk about what you need to do with Pelipper when we actually get to the boss fight here, because that's where the crux of the strategy is, but there you go. They really couldn't animate him running in a straight line through the gates. Just kind of disappointing. Oh, it's one of many. It's one of many disappointments, trust me. I hate to keep beating a dead horse there, but there's quite a lot about this game where it's like, I can see the potential. It's there. I know it's there. I just don't think that it's living up to it. And I'm not even sure if 6 more months of development would have even helped with that, or a year. Because it just feels like there's enough cut corners where they wanted it shipped out the door anyway. I mean, I guess they had to, because they literally released this within 10 months of the previous game, but... Because I think if I remember right, Legends Arceus came out, like, at the beginning of 2023, and this came out at the end, so they didn't have much time for full development, so... Well, let's see if you can figure out how to get rid of my Pokemon. I've got the 3 types that are super effective against fire, so... Are you sure? Because I heard that her blood's boiling pretty good. Well, let's just make her boil over, shall we? Alright, Barraskewda. You, Doug Trio, and Lycanroc, let's do this. Go get him! He'll be fine, I can just leave him to his... I'll leave them to their fate while everybody else does their stuff. Lycanroc, you're up. Go get him. I guess everybody's still busy. Let's wait for one of them to come back. There we go. And off we'll go this way. This base shouldn't take too long, though, because we've got, like I said, 3 super effective types from 3 fully evolved Pokemon. Like, against Pokemon that are probably level, like, 16 to 18 that we're fighting here. These ones that we're fighting in the auto battles. That's why we're taking basically no damage, because we can literally use one move and just wipe them out, so... I don't imagine this is going to be a bit of a problem. And I think after this we should be done, because I think that was 3 in the last group, so that'll give us 27. Yeah, I'll just throw another one out just in case. And there we go. Alright, you guys are good. You don't need to keep hitting them. Okay, let's see what the boss can do. Another car. Although this one is a fire type. The last one was a dark type, but obviously the paint job is what's giving it its typing. It's definitely not anything else. Oh, this is the lady that has to walk funny because the boots are too big for her. Okay, fair enough. Hi there. Yeah, I sure am a dope, all right. A dope with 3 Pokemon that have super effective typings against you. Okay, well, if that's all there is to it, let's see if you can back it up, lady. I mean, I guess her screaming and the music starting is an okay little thing, but something tells me that wasn't done intentionally. Alright, Barraskewda, let's kick her butt. Sure I am. Sure I am. So this is why you have to be a little bit careful if you have a Pelipper, because if you have a Pelipper, it might have the Drizzle ability. But remember, when it comes to automatic weather setting abilities, the slowest Pokemon determines which weather condition is set, and Torkoal is pretty slow. So you either want to have a Pokemon that can manually set up the rain to counteract her, or if you have a Pelipper, you can send something else in first, then turn 1, switch into Pelipper, and have it set the rain with Drizzle. In my case, I'm just going to set up the rain naturally by using Rain Dance. You could have a Damp Rock here if you've got one, but we won't need 8 turns to finish this fight. She's only got 2 Pokemon, so... I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think Barraskewda is going to appreciate becoming a Scorched Fish just yet. If that's all you've got, lady, then you've got another thing coming here in a second. Barraskewda, let's mess her up. Oh wow, she's actually got a level 27 Torkoal. I misread the level by 1 point. I thought it was 26. Oh well, this won't matter. This Torkoal's actually probably not going to... Well, maybe it'll be dead. With the rain and the Terra, it might be dead from this. But, you know. Let's see it, Barraskewda. Aqua Torpedo! Oh hey, that actually worked. Nice. And now we have 4 more turns of rain to destroy this car. So there you go. Well, no, but you might want to take a look at your car because it looks like it's shaking violently from you letting water get into the engine. Not really a good idea there, Mela. Alright, Liquidation again. Send him packing, Barraskewda. Holy damage! I'll take it. Man, that's some strength right there. It has the speed boost ability, but that wasn't what I was going to mention there. Something I can mention is if you've got the evolution, the Violet exclusive evolution to Charcadet at this point, it actually is really good in this fight despite not having a super effective hit because this car literally only has fire and normal attacks, and Charcadet has Flash Fire, 1, and 2, its evolution in Violet is fire and ghost type, so this thing literally can't touch it. But this is more fun, smashing the car with liquidations, so I think I'll just do that. Also, I'd like to note, even if it didn't have speed boost, Barraskewda would outspeed this thing in the rain because of Swift Swim. We have 160 speed right now, thanks to Swift Swim. Not that we needed it, we only needed 2 turns to trash her car, but, you know. Good job, Barraskewda. It was your time to shine, and you shine bright. She has the complexion of a Litwick. That can't be healthy, right? Hadn't noticed that before. She is a bit of a twig, isn't she? Maybe that's just the, I don't know, them making the tough girl be thinner. I don't know if that's a trope or something, but... Yeah, no, it's probably not healthy for her. It might be why her knees are so locked. It might not be the, like, the boots. It might literally just be that her knees are... Well, no, if she had problems with her knees, if it would be like rickets or something, she just literally wouldn't be able to stand up straight, so never mind. It's probably just the boots, but you're right, it's probably not healthy for her. Or maybe it's just the caricature of the people, because, I mean, look at the person right in front of the text box here in the ninja outfit. They're pretty thin, too. So. You had to use a Pokemon's power to get your car running? Is that not, like... I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the Pokemon might not appreciate that, but I guess if they're doing it and they're willingly doing it, so... Well, yeah, I mean, that's how she defends herself. Oh, is that it? Okay. I feel like, I was going to say, I don't feel like that's going to make them stop picking on her. They're just going to pick on her for something else, like being mean. People in elementary and middle school are pretty tough when it comes to that stuff. They'll just pick on you for anything. Their plan is to stay out of touch with all of you and then leave you like a box of rocks and force you to be truant to school for a year. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you face down a fish that is literally a ballistic torpedo and get rained on your parade. So, you know, sometimes you don't even need rain dance either. Like her Torkoal will set up drought, and then the random rain that sometimes happens in this game will literally just override the drought. So it's really silly. I don't know why it happens, but it'll happen. Am I doing this on purpose, or does she really just have that strong of a handshake? You're not supposed to try to break someone's hand when you shake their hand, Mela. I mean, you've probably already taught all your Pokemon Flame Charge that need it, including your car. But yeah, she gives us Flame Charge for beating her. Uh-huh, I'm sure you are. My Barraskewda, that was faster than your car in the rain and also cannot learn Flame Charge. This is why you need to go back to the academy. Alright, bye. She dug her nails into my palm, probably. That would hurt a little bit, yeah. I could see that being a bit of a problem. Do you know this, Charlos? He seems to know you. I think he wants you to go back to school. Wait, so you I know that you have a code to uphold, but you literally abandoned one of your most important friends, who is also a Pokemon, at the school in order to go be out here? Like, how is that kosher? You're abandoning a poor Charcadet to his fate. Like, who's to know if there's another student at the school that could take care of him the way that you do? You literally already have an empathetic relationship with him, given the fact that you can tell what he's thinking. Like, come on, man. The poor guy's been waiting for you for a year. And he's not going to take no for an answer. Yeah, just about. Well, I mean, you guys aren't giving them any information about what you're doing, so... A big fight, huh? Oh. So I guess we were the test drive, huh? Fair enough. Is that like the precursor to Operation Starfall, or... Wait, if there was an operation called Operation Star, and now this one's called Operation Starfall, those sound like they were named by the same person. The plot thickens. I know that trick. Oh boy. Alright, well anyway, that's 2 Team Star bases down. 3 more to go. The next one is, the level cap for it is level 33. And I'm pretty sure that one is correct, actually, but if it's not, we're just going to pretend like it is, just like this one. So that means we'll go to the 4th gym before we do that one, so. Yes, I got it. Maybe they'll actually go back to classes now, or are they all going to wait until all of the bases are done? Because that might be a little while. Yeah, it sounds like it. You were off in Nowhere Land again. Okay, thanks. I'll take it. It's not like I've got enough LP as it is. And we get another set of TMs. Actually, this one isn't the one that's super important to me. The next base is the one that has some actually super important TMs. Because as far as I know, it includes some TMs that we literally can't find out in the overworld. So, and as a matter of fact, 2 of those TMs are going to be kind of important for the purpose of, well, rounding out Roxas's moveset, actually. Hi, Penny. Oh, I haven't introduced you yet. This is Miraidon. Oh, he seems to have taken a shine to you. That's not normal. Just don't get overly excited. You'll get him overly excited. And then Penny punched his lights out. The end. It's super cool, isn't it? It's like a motorcycle. I have no idea what it is. I mean, have you ever seen a Cyclozar like that? Okay, thanks. I'll take them. Yes, ma'am. Sure. I don't know that they've been pretty strong. They've actually been pretty weak, if I'm honest with you. I'm not trying to say nothing, but I have been counteracting them at every turn. She always says interesting no matter what you pick there, so... Oh, you know, I could see that, honestly. Well, I guess that's one way to prevent the bullies from bullying you. Just form your own big bully group. Oh, good, it's raining again. You know, you shouldn't be admitting to federal crimes this, like... I know you're a minor, but you really shouldn't be admitting to federal crimes this openly, Penny. I have a responsibility to the law, even though I'm a student. You can't just be telling people that you're hacking social media accounts. That must be the big boss, then. Your throat hurts from saying 3 sentences, or was that from key-eyeing and smashing Miraidon's lights out there? Anyway, bye, Penny. Yeah, she's a data minor, something like that. Penny is one of the best things in recent Pokemon history. I feel like someone on the dev team probably played Persona 5 and they were like, yes, Futaba is a person. We should put Futaba in our video game. But, I mean, you know, I like Penny. She's fine. She's... I don't know necessarily that she gets as much development as Arven, but... sorry. I feel like Arven's kind of... His situation's a little different because he has a dying dog that you have to help, so... He obviously ends up getting a little more just by proxy of that happening around him, so... I'm just waiting for everything to finish up there. Pokedex to update and all that stuff. And then we'll so we've obviously passed where the roadblock was, so we'll just jump over to this Pokemon kiosk and we'll register it, and then once we've registered it, we'll head for our next destination. Oh, look, there's the energy powder that guy was trading not too long ago. Also, I think my neighbors are firing off fireworks because I can hear them faintly in the background. But, yeah, definitely. Never mind, that's not faintly anymore. So. Choodle, I would not recommend coming over here. Just trust me on this. It's not a good idea. Meryl, I don't know if it's a good idea for you either. It's actually kind of funny because there are certain parts, I don't know if it's this Pokemon kiosk or other ones, but there are certain Pokemon kiosks where if you are standing in, like, inside of the metal flooring of the Pokemon kiosk, wild Pokemon cannot run into you. If they attempt to run into you, they literally get vaporized when they hit the barrier. And by that I mean they disappear from existence. They're just gone. They're not like, they don't pop out on the other side like some weird teleport glitch, nothing. They're just gone. They get vaporized from existence. I don't know if I can show that here, but it's pretty silly to look at happening in real time. I might be able to show it with a Tauros at some point, but I don't know. I guess we'll figure that part out later. Alright, let's put everybody away, get out our new team, and by that I mean the old standbys, while I'm cycling everybody around here. And, you know, I guess we didn't go over the level cap, since technically her Torkoal was level 27, and everybody here is 27 as well. So, there you go. No, yeah, I gotta go from here. Yes, exactly. Futaba in our Pokemon game. Object disposed into oblivion. Yeah, pretty much. It's basically what happens, so... Alright, let's see. So, Interceptor, you're good for now. Let's get Magnemite in first, and then we'll send in the Lieutenant once Magnemite gets a little more experience, so... Alright, South Province Area 4 or Area 5? Where do I want to go? Is there anything I need from any of the other places? I think. There's a trainer down here, but they don't count towards South Province Area 5. And, you know, I think I remember the route for South Province Area 4 a little bit better, so let's do that first, and then we'll go from there. The trainers here, like the non-tough trainers, their Pokemon aren't particularly high level. I think they're like 19, 20, 21, somewhere in there. So we might not get a ton of experience from this, and so that means we might not, like, get all the way to level 30 just from doing this area. So my preference would be that we would get to level 30 only after we've finished up South Province Area 5, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll have to see. Because if you finish up South Province Area 5, there's an item. The item that you get from finishing it up is actually really good and definitely well worth your time to grab. It's the only one of its kind in the game as far as I'm aware, so it's not a bad idea to take care of that first before you do anything else. Oh, there we go. It's like, hey, the item's not popping up. But you only need to beat, I think it's either 4 or 5 trainers. I think actually it's 5 now that I think about it, in this area in order for you to get the item in South Province Area 4. So since it's only 5, we'll just beat them up and then be done from there. I think this is the first one right here. It's going to be a little bit slim pickings in terms of experience for a little while here, though. Although there is a fixed spawn Chansey in this area a little bit further south of us, so it might not be a bad idea for me to go and fight the Chansey. Although, at the same time, I don't know, because, like, I don't know if I want... Again, I want to try to get done with South Province Area 5 before we go to the next thing, but, you know, we'll see. Here's a Dunsparce. I probably shouldn't be trying to catch this either if I'm trying to stay relatively low level, but... You know, might as well just do this while we're here. Normally, Dunsparce is a little tricky to catch in these games because you typically can't find it just wandering around out in the open, but in this region, they're a little more common, so might as well take advantage of that and catch one while we can, you know. Oh no, I've been glared. A lot of paralysis being passed around since the last episode as well. I'm going to use an Ultra Ball. The yellow will match a little better with Dunsparce. And I've got 40-something of them, so now that I got a bunch from Professor Jacques, so might as well just use it. I'm going to say, with the surprise attack that we got, we should be able to catch this pretty easily that way. So, a little extra experience for everybody. I should say this as well. Dunsparce actually has an evolution in this game. But if you've ever theory crafted a Dunsparce evolution, or a Dunsparce Mega evolution even in the past, it's not what you anticipated. So, just don't get your hopes up, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know, I used to be one of those people that was like, oh, it would be really cool if Dunsparce turned into like a Quetzalcoatl or something when it evolved, if it ever got an evolution. You know, when I was a teenager or something, and Gen 2 was still hot shit, but... well, I guess when I was a teenager, Gen 2 wasn't hot shit. When I was a teenager, Gen 3 had been out for a few years. I think I was 14 when Emerald came out, so... Yeah, so I guess it was still really Gen 3, and then Gen 4 came out. I wasn't as big a fan of Gen 4 as I was of Gen 3, so... You know, having to snap back like that every time, camera, I feel like you're going to hurt yourself one of these times. Like, you're going to snap your neck one of these times. Don't do that to yourself. Reminds you of those memes with the red-eyed Snorlax. Thought it evolved into Dreepy for a while. Yeah, Dragapult is a pretty long boy, so I could see it. But, yeah, Dunsparce, we'll see its evolution later. It's, it features in one of the gym battles, actually, in the 5th gym battle, but, well, until we get there, we'll hold off on telling everybody what it is. Actually, Roxas, you should get some pretty good experience out of this fight, because she's got another grass type after this, right? Yeah, skip one. I mean, I guess good experience is relative, because all these Pokemon are like level 18 or 19, but, you know. It'll be something, I think. My baby has gone to sleep, oh no. Wait, no, what was it? The one that looks like it has a blanket. Which one looks like it has a blanket? I'm trying to remember. And a stash. A blanket and a stash. Yeah, it's not ringing a bell, but I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not off the top of my head, anyway. Oh, you got a 5-hit Bullet Seed there. Not bad. I'm just going to stay until I wake up. Ah, there we go. If you remember what it is, Chris, though, like, you probably look it up in a National Pokedex or something and see what it is, but I don't know. Wait, hang on. I might know what it is. Hold on. Wait. It's on the tip of my tongue. Drampa. I think you're thinking of Drampa is actually what you're thinking of. It's a normal dragon type that was introduced in Gen 7. I think that might be what you're thinking of. Because I remember I thought about the mustache for a second. I was like, which Pokemon would have a mustache? I know Alakazam has a mustache. What else has a mustache? And I was like, oh, this guy. Yeah, so that might be what you're thinking of. I think did I get the Toxic Spikes TM? No, that's in East Province Area 2, so I wouldn't have gotten that yet. So while I'm here, I think if I remember correctly, there's a Toxic Spikes TM up on this cliff as well. So I'm going to grab it. Because I'm thinking about teaching that to Toxel once he evolves. Because he can't learn it as a Toxel, but he can learn it as a Toxtricity. Although that's a little bit of a ways away yet, so... Beg pardon, sir. Oh, there's Wild Fletchinder here. Well, if I had a rock type that I needed experience for, that would be pretty good experience, so... Yeah, it's Drampa. That's what I thought. You don't have to beg my pardon for that. I'll fight you anyway. It's better than fighting these Mastiff that are chasing me down. Alright, he's got a Phalanx. Cool. I'm going to switch in the Lieutenant because it's randomly raining again, so Water Pulse will do even more damage than it already does. The next trainer is behind me in the little watery area down here. It's also where you can find, at least it's the area where I have the best luck, finding Petaleels and Flabebe for the first time in the game, so... If you want, that would be my recommendation, is to head down there and look for them, but... You know, you don't have to, obviously. Okay, cool. There's level 27 for Magnemite and the Lieutenant. Not bad, you two, not bad. Sorry, sir, I don't know that pun was very good. Yeah, typically. So, you know, doesn't really work out too well. Do you mind stepping back for a second, though? I'm about to be attacked by a herd of wild dogs. Literally. Lieutenant, enemy forces in front! He's got them covered. Alright, well, we picked up another Pokédoll somewhere because we had 14. We used one, and then we had 14 more, so there you go. Alright, let's get out of here before this other one gets any bright ideas. See, that's the thing, though, is that a lot of the time, even if the Pokemon are aggressive, it doesn't matter too much because Miraidon can outrun them. Tauros are pretty much just the exception to that rule, where it's really hard for Tauros to, not Tauros, but Miraidon to outrun the Tauros because of how fast they are. So... I think you can run into Wild Scyther around here as well, now that I'm thinking about it. But here's the fixed spawn Chansey right here. I don't remember what level it is, but if you want to use it, you could always just have all your Pokemon come in for experience, which I might do, quite honestly. Let's see if we can get a surprise attack on her. Level 16, so probably not going to give a ton of experience compared to the other Chansey up top, but well, you never know. Might give a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to need a surprise attack, so I'll give her like 5 more seconds to turn her back on me. Thank you. I'm going to say, and if she doesn't, then I'll just attack, but... Alright, and now we do a little switching, because I don't need to catch this, because I already have a Chansey, and, well, like I said, it's not going to give us a huge chunk of experience, but... If we switch everybody in to get some experience, we'll end on Interceptor, and he should be able to one-shot this Chansey with Play Rough, so... He's got a little bit of attack now that he's evolved. Not great, because he's still got a minus attack nature, but we can fix that later. Oh, that did some good damage, although it was a crit, so I suppose that's why. But, you know, it's fine. You know what I might do? Is just to avoid that echoed voice getting out of hand here, because it could. I mean, Chansey's special attack isn't great, but it's okay. I'm going to use Torment while Shaylee's out, actually. Just so that way she doesn't get any bright ideas about, oh, I'll just spam Echoed Voice 4 times in a row. Can't believe I found an actual use for Torment here. Cameraman is on the floor right now. He's having to go prone to make sure that he catches the glimpse of Shaylee here. Excuse me. It's probably because all of my Pokemon are, like, small still. We don't quite have any large Pokemon to help us out yet, but we will later. Now, I don't know who programmed in that little sound effect for Sing there, but that was definitely the sound effect for Hypnosis in Gen 1. Don't think I don't hear you. I don't know why they put it in for sing, though. You'd think they would put that in for hypnosis instead of sing, but... Alright, go ahead, Interceptor. Beat her up. Nice. See how much experience we get for all that switching. Well, 707 isn't bad, considering it was level 16. I'll take more Hapini dust, why not? Well, it stopped raining, so that's nice, I guess. Oh, okay. Sorry, Murkrow, almost whacked right into you there. Our third trainer is down by the water here. He's one of the Pokemaniacs, and usually the Pokemaniacs have rare Pokemon, so that's why I usually try to incorporate them in some way into the rotation of trainers that I fight while I'm in these areas, but it doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes it does, so... Shaylee's level 28, which is good, actually, because if she ends up being the first one that gets to 29, that's fine, because, one, she's not going to be particularly useful against the Water-type gym we're about to go against, but two, she also evolves at level 29, so that would be another evolution that we could just get on screen today before we call it a day, so... Because we still got about a half hour, so I might as well do some fighting while I'm here. What's this Terra Pokemon? Oh, is this the Sliggoo? Yeah, it is a Sliggoo. It's level 30, so it's a little tricky for us just yet, but pretty soon that won't be tricky. That'll be just right for us, so... I keep avoiding catching Choodle for some reason. I keep seeing Choodles all over the place, and there's a Goomy right there. That might not be a bad idea to catch that either, but... I don't know, for some reason I keep avoiding catching Choodles. I did that when I first played this game as well. I'm not really sure why. It just sort of happened. So, okay, there's the trainer over there. And this is where I would have told you about the Lilligant that would have been helpful for the third gym if I had gotten all the way over here before we got to level 24, but, well, we didn't, so... Yeah, oh, settle. Dunsparce versus Kling Clang Clang-a-Lang. Yeah, just give Kling Clang another evolution and just keep extending the onomatopoeia. Oh, God. Well, here's an Axew. I think we might be able to catch one of these already, but I'm not really sure. I guess we could always look in the Pokedex to double check and see once we're done. But... Well, I only have Interceptor to do super effective damage against this thing, so... And it might have access to Dragon Rage now that I think about it, which would not be so good. So, Interceptor, you're up. I was going to switch somebody else in, but... Nah. Yeah, that'll work. Actually, it might have gotten rid of Dragon Rage for Dragon Claw, but Dragon Claw at level 20 is pretty scary, if you ask me. From an Axew, that's pretty good. I mean, granted, if we had an Axew, we wouldn't even need that because we could probably just go find a Dragon Claw TM somewhere, but, you know. Yeah, I can see that. So why were you saying Scrub-a-Dub a second ago? I guess. I think that's something you can do at a picnic, actually, is you can give your Pokemon a bath. But I don't know that I've ever done that, now that I think about it, so... I'm not even sure if it really does much, because if I remember correctly, when you go to the Pokemon Center, it effectively, quote-unquote, gives them a bath. So, like, if there was any dirt or something on them from them doing a fight, which I think can happen, but again, I'm not sure, because I've never really paid attention to it, it usually just gets taken off when they go to the Pokemon Center anyway, so... I guess it could be a cool effect if that stuff's stuck around, but it doesn't, so... You know, it doesn't really help us. Is there anything on top of this? No, there's not. And I'm sliding all the way back down, because it was not a vertical surface. The fourth trainer's up here. This one doesn't have a particularly strong Pokemon to fight. I literally just needed another trainer, and I was like, yeah, you'll do, you're close enough to the other one. Sounds easy to misinterpret for fan service. Neat. Yeah, I could see how someone might misinterpret that and be like, oh, okay, huh. Interesting. Let me wash my Gardevoir real quick. Like, okay, like, let's slow down, please. Let's just not get into that today. See, I keep finding Pokemon that are good for the Pokemon I've already got at high levels here. That's okay. I'm going to end up flying back to this tower anyway, although I might have already gotten what's on top of this tower. I forget. I think I might have, actually. In terms of the item that was up there. So, since I think I already got it, I'm going to end up flying back here anyway once we defeat it. Well, maybe I won't, because I can just kind of come back this way from the tough trainer that we're going to go fight in a minute. We're kind of making like a big circle, although it's a really weird-looking circle, if you ask me. But, kind of making a weird-looking circle around this area to grab all the trainers and the tough trainers in one big loop. So... yeah, I could see how that would freak you out a little bit, but that's just a gimmick. Ain't gonna hurt you much. Alright, back up we go, because the next trainer is, I think, up this hill here. So since we have the ability to climb up, let's just climb up and meet her up there. Fight her, and then I think we're done with regular trainers in this area after that. So we can go fight the tough trainers. There's 2 of them. One of them is another one that most people usually don't fight because you need access to climbing in order to do that. So this Houndour might actually be at a level where it won't be, I was going to say, too far off from becoming a Houndoom, but I'd like it to turn around while I'm standing over here, but it might be too wary at the moment. Also, the Makahita is probably not making this any easier. So, since that's the case, I'll just grab that from you, yoink. Steal your Ultra Ball out from under you. There she is, up here. I knew she was up here somewhere. Only if you can't jump across the river, which I'm going to assume, despite your training, you cannot jump across, so... Hey, Cornet, how you doing? Or Comet, sorry, I thought that was C-O-R-N. Comet, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Did I beat the game playing on a new account or first time playing? So I beat the game previously, and I deleted my save file, and I'm playing it again. This is the 3rd full time I've gone through the game. So, 3rd? 2nd? I don't remember. Something like that. And, yeah, just wandering around, fighting some trainers while we get up to level 30, so we're ready for the 4th gym at the moment. We're in South Province Area 4, and trying to make a big circle around the area, fight a whole bunch of stuff, but the circle's a little lopsided at the moment. It hasn't exactly been... a full and complete circle. I've been making some stops along the way that puts a few kinks in that circle. So. Well, that amnesia wasn't going to help you survive that. Sorry to say it. I mean, it probably would have helped. Now you got to go find a Pokemon Center, and there is no Pokemon Center in South Province Area 4, so... yeah, we could do that, and that would be another shortcut that we could take to get up to the 7th gym area up there, but... well, we're going to go there eventually anyway, so I'm not going to bother. Do I want whatever this item is? I guess, since there's 2 of them, I might as well get tempted. Why not? Grab this. An elixir. Eh, got a few of those already. Full restore. Another situation of, where we've got a few of those already. And I think the trainer that I'm looking for is right down here. The first tough trainer. Yeah, there he is right there. He's covered up his weakness, apparently. I don't know what he means by this, but I guess we'll find out in a second. Now, you know what, Magnemite? You're fine. You can stay out there because you need a little bit more experience than everybody else does, except for the Lieutenant. So... oh, wow, this kid must have been up north because he's got weakness covering berries. Oh, good, it's randomly raining again. I don't know why, but for some reason, like previous streams, we haven't gotten the random rain effect, and now all of a sudden it's paying itself back in spades here. It's like, okay, I don't know why you're doing that, but fine, whatever. So, he has, on both of the Pokemon, he has only one weakness. So this Tadbulb has ground-type weakness. So basically he's got a, I think it's a Shuka berry, if I remember correctly, is the berry that covers for ground-type weaknesses. But you don't have to even engage with that. You could literally just knock it out with a strong move like this, and be fine. And then his second Pokemon also has only one weakness, and is similarly not a very strong Pokemon in terms of experience count that it'll give you, but... I mean, they can't all be really powerful. The other tough trainer in the area makes up for it in spades, trust me. So, but here's an Eevee. It has a Colbur berry? No, I don't think Colbur's the right one. Which one's the one for fighting type weakness? Whatever that one is, that's the one that this Eevee has. I don't remember what it's called, though. Well, Sand Attack's not very nice. How can I take advantage of this random rain with my water pulses if you make me miss? Never mind, I won't miss. Well, it didn't even KO. That's surprising. This Eevee's a little tanky. That's fine, we can do it again. And not miss again. The Lieutenant has a sharp eye, apparently. So, berries that cover your weakness, kid. You might want to actually evolve your Pokemon rather than just having berries that cover your weakness. Although I suppose the berries wouldn't really help him if he evolved his Eevee into something else, because then it wouldn't be a normal type. I guess he could just evolve it into an Umbreon, because then it would still share the fighting weakness, but, you know. Alright, so the next guy is all the way... So you see these ruins up here? He's all the way up there, which means in order to get to him... Can you get to him from anywhere? Let me think. Probably if you jumped across this gap from Los Platos and went all the way up here, and then went all the way up the hill this way, you could get to him. But he's right around here somewhere. Now, we can get there a little bit quicker because we can just climb up the cliffs, but if you couldn't climb up the cliffs, obviously you'd have to get to him a little bit faster that way. But if we do this, we can always... And as a matter of fact, do I feel like going all the way to the tower? Not really. I'm just going to fly right there so I can grab the item, since that would put us closer, 1. And 2, well, I can grab the item on the way. Just like this. Apparently we fought 6 trainers here. I don't know how this all works. We fought only 4 out of the 5 I wanted to fight in East Province Area 1, and we fought more than we needed to here, so whatever. We get a Rocky Helmet out of defeating those trainers here, though, so that's not too bad. That's a pretty good item to have. Might be worth giving to somebody, as a matter of fact, but... Ooh. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. For now, let's head over here, and then head up closer to our destination. And slow up from the dash so I don't run into anything by accident. Could happen anyway, but, you know, try to avoid that if we can. Oh, okay, well, that was interesting. Alright, slide this way closer to our destination, and, where'd he go? Is he in here? Yeah, there he is, right there. Apparently he's got a secret base, even though they haven't had that as a mechanic since, well, Gen 6, I guess, because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. But there you go. Bunch of Gimmighoul around here. I'm sure they probably give some good experience and stuff. The team's looking a little rough, actually, so let's use some super potions, because this trainer is, well, he lives up to the name that I've given him, which is the tough trainer. He's in the class of what I would like to call tough trainers. And he lives up to his name, as you'll see shortly when we actually fight his Pokemon. The Skiddo are giving me encouragement, and I might need it, considering what he's got. That repeating rock wall texture, not too bad, but super obvious. Yeah, they didn't exactly make the rocks particularly unique in this one. Although probably if the textures were not repeating, the game would, again, run even slower than it already does. But, you know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about that stuff to really tell you one way or another, but... Here's a Sensu Oricorio. We were just talking about that at the beginning of the stream. Magnemite, you can probably handle this with a T-Wave Electro Ball combination. Or he can Baton Pass without doing any boosts. That's fine, too. See if we Baton Pass into a Ground or Electric type to just screw it over my strategy. He does not. He transfers into a Slowking. This is what I meant when I said he lives up to his name. This guy's tricky. He's got a Slowking at this level. It's like level 25, too, if I remember right. Yeah. Not messing around, this guy. But Magnemite 2-hit KOs even with an Electro Ball, so that's not bad. Oh, and it has a berry as well. Is it Oran or Citrus? I was going to say, that looked more like Citrus. And it has Fire Punch, too? Holy hell, this guy's not messing around. It's a good thing I KO him back with this Electro Ball, because this would have been a problem otherwise. Yeah, you gotta be careful with some of these tough trainers. If they're up on the cliffs like this, some of them can be pretty nasty, so... Oh, Magnet Rise isn't a bad move to have, but, nah, you're not gonna be fighting any ground types that I care about, Magnemite, so you'll probably be okay. Oh, Staravia is another good one for you, although I'll probably get knocked out before I can do anything here. I might switch into the Lieutenant, because he could probably 2-hit KO with anything. Maybe I'll T-Wave first, just to see what he does. Endeavor, huh? Yeah, it's not going to help you. Sorry. Or maybe I'll just let Magnemite do this and just have it be the Magnemite show, because Magnemite's got a pretty good matchup against everything here. So... This might not even KO, though. Nope, never mind. Magnemite's strong. I always forget how much special attack Magnemite has. It has, like, base... I want to say either 85 or 90 for its base special attack, so that's pretty good, all things considered. Alright, and we're back to the Sensu Oricorio. I'll just T-Wave it as well. To say, I don't know what it can do, but it probably can't KO me from this range with a flying type move. So, just send the paralysis through this man's entire team. It'll make things a little easier. Alright, now we'll switch to the Lieutenant, because he's the only one who's below level 28 at the moment. Although that's going to be a trend for, like, the rest of the game. Because he's in the slow experience group, the Lieutenant will probably be, like, a level below everybody for basically ever. Which is a bit of a problem, if I'm honest, but, I mean, we'll make it work, I guess. Okay, good damage. We're going to have to switch back out again, but good damage. Ow. That was a crit. It wasn't a crit. He just got a high roll. Alright, well, we'll have to revive the Lieutenant. That's fine. I'll just send in Magnemite. I can tank any acrobatics that they go for. I can tank 2 for that matter, but I might just use a healing item anyway, so... That's what I get for switching out, though, right? Magnemite had this on lock, and I was like, nope, gotta get the experience out. Oh, okay. Well, now I don't have to heal. Good. Alright, so now let's send it home, Magnemite. Very good, very good. So, I guess if you have trouble with this guy, bring a Magnemite. Or any electric type, really, because an electric type is good against all of this guy's Pokemon. No, you can keep the base. I don't care. I'm not planning on making a base out of this ruined building. What do you mean, our secret base? I'm still letting you have it. Alright, before this Mastiff attacks me, let me get out of here. There's Wild Meditite up here as well, so that's not too bad. Alright, so we got the item from South Province Area 4, so now the next place we want to go is South Province Area 5, but I actually want to go back to Los Platos, because if we start here and climb up the cliffs, we can actually get to some of the other trainers here that are a little bit more challenging, I guess. They've got higher degrees of Pokemon. And by that I mean either the Pokemon evolve or they're Pokemon that don't evolve, which again typically means more experience points to be passed around. So we're gonna have to kind of meander around in this province. We need to beat 7 trainers, if I remember correctly, in order to get the item from this area. So, excuse me, sorry, I don't know what that was. It's the water coming back up, but not really in a burp. Well, we need to beat 7 trainers in order to get what we need out of this area. So since that's the case, we got to kind of wander all over the place and get some stuff done. So if I remember correctly, there's a trainer here-ish, right around this Terra Jewel, and there's one like here, and there's one right here. So those 3, and then there's a few up here, like 4, 5, 6, because there's a tower here, a watchtower, so I want to grab that as a travel point. So 6, and then I want to fight a trainer over here by this Fire Terra Jewel as well, because as my number 7, because he's got a Pokemon that's exclusive to Scarlet that I won't be able to register in my Pokedex if I don't fight him. So that's why I want to go there. You don't have to fight this one specifically, and he doesn't have a particularly strong Pokemon either, but yeah, in my case, since I want to get the Pokedex entry, I'm going to do it. So. Ooh, almost ran into whatever that was, because the text box from prison was blocking my way from seeing it. And there's a wild Shroomish as well there, so... You want a Breloom? Breloom's pretty good in this game, so... Not a bad idea to grab it here. Is the trainer here, or are they further down? Let me think about this, hold on. Oh no, they're further down from here. The other trainer's like right around here, but... Let's go down to this other tree first. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the Shroomish, so maybe we'll catch the Shroomish since we're already here. Oh wow, and this one's actually ready to evolve, basically. So, yeah, I think we'll definitely catch this one then. Because then, if we catch it, we can literally just give it one of the rare candies that I've been finding, because it's not like I need the extra money, and then we have another Pokemon for our Pokedex right there. Nice and easy. Evolve it on screen. I should probably nuzzle it, though, because... I didn't get a surprise attack, so probably more worth it for me to do that, just to make sure I have an easier chance of catching it. There we go. Maybe one more Nuzzle. I don't want to Acid again, because at this point it probably could KO it, so... Oh, and it's Leech Seeding. Well, maybe I don't want to stay in then if I'm going to get Leech Seeded. You know, while I'm here, I'm looking at the Pokemon running around the background there. It might not be a bad idea to catch a Vigoroth either, because Vigoroth can actually get the combination of the moves False Swipe and Yawn. So it can learn Yawn from being a Slackoth, and it can learn False Swipe just from, like, a TM. So it might not be a bad idea to grab one of those, because it would help with catching stuff, but I haven't really had a huge amount of trouble with just catching stuff while I see it, you know? Like, if I'm just catching the stuff that is in the area that I'm supposed to be in to begin with, it's been working out pretty okay, so. Honestly, Pokemon like Shroomish would be roadkill if this wasn't rated for kids. Yeah, definitely a Pokemon that, like, I couldn't even see it in the grass, so definitely a Pokemon that would get run over and you wouldn't even know. Alright, well, Leech Seed is starting to get a little annoying, so maybe I'll just try to throw a ball at it and catch it, just because if it's going to keep Leech Seeding me, it's going to keep getting up on health while I'm trying to keep it down on health, and that's never going to help me. It's only going to help it stay alive, so let's just toss a ball at it now. And hope for the best. And it is paralyzed and at just about half health, so it's a Shroomish, I can't imagine, yeah. Well, Lieutenant's up at level 28 now, so that's not bad. We got some of its spores, I suppose, for materials, but like I said, since it's at level 23, I might as well just use a candy or 3 on it and just get it to Breloom, because why not? So, let's pull it out of the PC, shall we? And just take care of that while we're here. Yep, there we go. We'll get you right out in a second there, Magneton. How much do you need to get to the next level? 1503? Oh, that's like 2 small candies. Okay, perfect. Don't hardly have to do anything. I'm going to use a Paralyze. No, I'll use a Full Heal on you, because why not? I don't mind. I've got a bunch of them, so I may as well just top you off so you don't have to evolve into Breloom feeling like your entire body is seizing up. Might as well top you off while I'm here, you know? There we go. And 2 small candies for you. And actually, it's not really a wonder, because the nice thing about Shroomish, and I don't know if I mentioned this when we used one in Pokemon XD, but the nice thing about Shroomish is that it's in the Fluctuating experience group, which is not really good when you start to get up into the higher levels above, like, level 55 or 60, which, at the end game of this game, the highest levels are, like, 67 or something like that. So it's not so good once you get up into those levels, but in the early game, they level pretty much as fast as Pokemon in the fast experience group, although I think sometimes that can be a little, like, they might have a level or two where that's not the case, but because it fluctuates, obviously, but they're pretty good in terms of gaining experience. They usually, it's a pretty good, easy time training them, because they just level up so fast. But there's a Breloom. So now you won't be roadkill anymore, because someone will see you. I hope. Or if they don't see you, you'll knock their car off the road, because you have base 130 attack now. And getting Mach Punch as well, so that's not bad. I mean, I guess I don't need Poison Powder for you. You have a plus special attack nature. That's funny. That would have helped on the Breloom we had in Pokemon XD, because I kept, I think we got Giga Drain in that one, so I left Giga Drain on it, because I was like, well, what else am I going to do with it, you know? So. Alright. Back to the regular group and back to exploring. Let's see, who out of you 4 needs 523, 725, 854? Okay, Toxel, you're going to go in front, because Shaylee is probably pretty close at this point to getting herself evolved, but well, you know, we might go. I'm gonna try to go and see if I can get Shaylee evolved. I don't think it'll be that difficult. Actually, if I fight this Fletchinder, if this guy doesn't give me enough experience fighting, or this gal doesn't give me enough experience fighting this Fletchinder, might not be a bad idea, because then we could get some experience from that for the Lieutenant, 1, and 2, it'd probably be enough to evolve Shaylee. Oh, this Flamigo will definitely give us some good experience then. Never mind. That's why I had this trainer marked down in my, well, not really my notes, but in my path that I wanted to take in this area. Because she has a Pokemon that will give a solid chunk of experience at the end of all of this. A level 21 Flamigo. Yeah, so he's a punchy boy now. So he doesn't have to, like I said, worry about being roadkill anymore. Yeah, Magnemite, why don't you get in there? I need to remember to teach Magnemite a certain move, though, because it's kind of the crux of the strategy that I have for the 4th gym if I teach it the move, so we'll see about that in a few seconds here. Once I'm done taking this thing out with a couple of Electro Balls. Or one Electro Ball, as it turns out. You know, Electro Ball is working out pretty well, all things considered. I usually don't use it, and especially I don't use it on Magnemite, because Magnemite's not particularly fast, but with me T-waving and nuzzling everything, it's working out pretty well. Well, fair enough. I mean, you've got a Flamigo, so I don't know if you need to stay in the classroom and study. You can hold your own pretty good out here. Flamigo's pretty good Pokemon. 3-star Terra Ice Dunsparce. No thanks, but I'll take the 1000 LP from you. That's nice. I lost track of the Fletchinder. It was down there. I don't know if it might have despawned. I guess I could fight an Oinkologne. That's probably worth a pretty good chunk of experience, but yeah, we're going to get some experience from the next trainer anyway, so I don't think I really need to worry too much. South Province Area 5, by the way, some of these trees can spawn Slackoth in them, so if you're looking for the full evolutionary line while we're in the area, it might not be a bad idea to check the trees, because what they'll usually do is they'll be sleeping up on one of the branches, so you can either headbutt them out of the tree by dashing into it, or you can just sneak up on them and throw a Pokeball at them. It's your choice, whichever one you want to do best. But it's going to be in one of these big trees. It won't be in the small ones. It'll be in one of the bigger ones. So, there you go. Hell, there might have already been one and I just didn't see it. I know that phrase! Hoo-ha! Are you practicing being Bruno? Mankey is going from the sidelines. Yeah, Mankey just wants to be in the fight. He's like, hey, so, fight me, not this random Jagoff in the wilderness. Well, I think the Lieutenant can handle a Charcadet pretty good. So let's handle it. Well, Nightshade does a little damage, but the Water Pulse counter should knock you right out. I'll squash you flat, Charcadet. Wait, that guy threw bugs at you. Never mind. That experience wasn't so good, but this guy's also got a Heracross, which we can't get until like level 50-something, but to be fair, you could go catch one that's at a higher level and then just put it into an egg and then have it that way if you want to do it that way. So this looks like prime fodder for Interceptor, though. Oh, look, there's some Flabébé around, so if I wanted to catch one, I guess now would be the time. That's okay. I don't think Endure is going to help you where you're going. You could reversal me, which would probably hurt quite a bit, but oh good, he got it off anyway. That's fine. I don't even know if he's faster than Interceptor, honestly. So, I guess we're going to find out. Does he have a Salac Berry? That'd be really funny. Oh, he got attack dropped anyway. Doesn't matter. Oh, he's just using Endure over and over. Okay, well, I mean, if you don't want to use the reversal, it would have been a cool strategy, but apparently not. Goodbye. And that'll get a couple of levels out of that, but not Shaylee. Shaylee is just on the cusp, which is fine, because we can have her do something with that in a minute. As I say, I thought you already tried to get it Baton Pass, but you did when you were a Fido. So now that you're a Darkspawn, you'll try to get it again, so... So were you not referencing Bruno, or am I too old, or... Oh, okay. No, he was trying to reference Bruno. Never mind. Ooh, okay. Sorry, little Leo. I almost ran into you, too. The third trainer in this area, I think, is up, like, near here. Excuse me. I don't think they have any particularly strong Pokemon, but they were on the way, basically, to where I want to go, which is across this gap. So, might as well, you know, just have them do it. We're getting pretty close on levels here, so hopefully we will not go too far over. I'm going to stick Houseplant out in front, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have fought that fixed spawning wild Chansey, huh? I can catch Stantler here if you want to catch a Stantler. can't evolve it into its... As far as I know, you can't evolve any of the Pokemon that are available in Legends Arceus. Like, you can't evolve into those evolutions in this game. I guess they figured you've already seen those evolutions in the game that you literally just played earlier this year, but joke's on them, I didn't play that game. I don't know why, honestly. I figured that with Let's Go, I figured it was because it was a different mechanic rather than just the regular series, so I almost ended up buying Legends Arceus, but I looked up some gameplay later on after I sort of cooled off to it, because I was like, you know, it looks pretty good. And I watched it, and it almost feels more like a checklist video game. Like, you go and catch a whole bunch of Pokemon to help the professor fill out the Pokedex, and I'm like, I prefer to just catch one of each, actually. I don't think I'd want to go catch 40, I don't know. What the heck did you catch in that game? I don't think I want to go catch, like, 40 Starly just because you need them in order to maximize your by-hand Pokedex entries. It's a good thing Shaylee's got sunglasses. That sun is directly in her eyes right now. It's okay, she won't miss. Nom. Oh, wow, she even got a crit. Nailed the weak spot. And she gets a Moxie boost out of it. I haven't used Moxie to too much effect yet, but maybe we will at some point. Seed Bomb. You're not a physical attacker, Houseplant, so I don't know if that's going to help you too much. Oh, Girafarig? Boy, this is just easy pickings for a Moxie-boosted Shaylee. I'll take it. You know, if I don't get stomped on and flinched. Good. Bye. Just take that experience and run with it, Shaylee. Best thing about Legends is its implications. The game itself is actually pretty meh. It was a step in the right direction, but eh. Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of what I heard from people. Like, it had some good ideas, but it wasn't all that hot, you know? Like, I really like the mechanics for catching in Let's Go, so that was kind of like a thing for me that I don't know if a lot of people enjoyed those, but I really liked it because it was a nice, fresh change of pace, and I don't mind Kanto, so it really helped me, but I don't know how people feel about that, so I don't know if I'd feel the same way about Legends as I did about Let's Go. Anyway, we got to level 29, and after all that extra experience and crunching down on people, Shaylee's evolving as well. Whole bunch of evolutions today. Should help us in the gym battle coming up. But she's evolved into a Krokorok. Nice. And actually, just like in pretty much every other game where I've used the Sandile evolutionary line, which is quite a few of them, let me tell you, because I really like this evolutionary line, I'm actually going to prevent Shaylee from evolving into her full, like, her last stage of evolution until a little bit after the level where she normally evolves. Because if I remember correctly, if you get her to level 42 in this game as a Krokorok, she can learn Earthquake, whereas it takes until, like, 48 as a Crocodile, so I'm going to hold off on evolving her until about 42, but that's fine. She'll be fine from now until then, so. Oh, you were talking about Arven? I don't know. I feel like it'd just be a pain in the ass, actually. Then you got to live up to their expectations and everything. That's not a whole lot of fun. Let's see how she's doing now that she's evolved. 79 attack, huh? Not bad at all. I'll take it. Probably the speed could use a little bit of help, but that's okay. We'll be fine without the speed. If we need speed later on, we can always... you can actually buy a choice scarf later on in the game, so we can always just buy one of those and use it to fix any middling speed that she's got. But if you need to fix middling speed because of an IV, don't worry about it, because later on in the game there's actually something you can do about that, so... Just gonna go right between you, yoink, thank you. I think we're a little over time at this point, but that's okay. I think I started a little late, so we're probably approaching 3 hours now. We need to fight 3 more trainers on this side. And that'll get us to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, hang on, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, and the person on the other side of the river too. Okay, well, I'll fight maybe 1 or 2 more trainers, and then we'll kind of do it halfway, basically, in this area. And then we'll come back and do the other half in the next episode. I don't know that I'll need a fake tears TM. I don't feel like that's going to be necessary. So, here's another hiker. I mean, I guess. Do you find a lot of popularity just wandering out in the wilderness like this? Or is the popularity mostly from the random people online that are saying, I really like the hiker redesign. This Toad School is not a particularly strong level for this, but that's okay. I could probably just one-shot it with Water Pulse. We're 11 levels over. And it's not, like, not very effective, so it's regularly effective, so... I'd take it. Not much experience out of this hiker, but there you go. It's amazing what people have done with the subway bosses and Volo. Everyone agrees Comodo is full of it, and low-key bully him in fanfics about it, but I digress. I think I've heard the name Volo before, but I'm not really sure what his role is in the game, honestly. I feel, is he like the salesperson or something? I feel like I've seen a little gameplay from Legends, and I don't mind spoilers either, so if it's something important... I mean, I don't know how other people who are in the audience feel about that. I don't mind spoilers if it's something important, but I feel like he was the salesperson at the beginning of the game, but I could be wrong about that. Could be thinking of somebody else. Alright, so there's another trainer somewhere around here. It's another situation where she doesn't have particularly strong Pokemon, but I think the one that she has is one that's a little bit rarer, so it might be harder to access in the Pokedex. Oh, if you're wondering how to actually get to this area, I should mention that part too, by the way. You can get here either from going southwest of Artizone to go this way, so that you're almost exactly where we're at, or if you go just above the Pokemon Center at South Province Area 3, this looks like a gap, but it's a very small gap, and you can kind of just jump up it and end up there. You don't even need high jump or anything, if I remember right, so... I think the trainers... Oops. There we go. They're around here somewhere. So I'll grab this, whoops, item while I'm here too. Game's having a little difficulty registering my A button presses here. Super Mario 64 speedrunners would love that, but not me. She's around here somewhere. Oh, there she is, I think. You forgot to do your homework? Oh no! Well, you're out in the wilderness, so you've got plenty of time. Wait, we had homework? Are we in the same class? I feel like you're an upperclassman. What do you mean? I get to copy yours. Yeah, so she's got a Hatena, which is kind of tough to find from my understanding. I think it's normally down in South Province Area 4, though, so... you know, you could just go back down there, but... If you don't know where to get it, now that it's registered in your Pokedex, well, you can find it, so... Oh, Volo is the Cynthia for the game? Okay, so he's like the final trainer that you fight. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He wouldn't become a merchant that can just kind of travel all over the place without being a pretty strong trainer, so... I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, me too. Again, I didn't hear that we had any homework. Don't scare me like that. There's an item over here. Oh, look, a piece of candy. I guess there's gumshoes around here as well. The young goose have evolved. And the next trainer I want to fight... I might just go fight these two trainers because they're going to be nice and quick to defeat. They've each got one Pokemon, so it really won't be a big deal. And we'll end it at the Pokemon Center down on the beach there. There will be a total of 3 more trainers I'd like to fight after we fight these two. And it looks like we should be able to fight them all because we... are not quite at level 30 yet, and the experience from these couple of smaller trainers, the non-tough ones, definitely won't get us there, so... What have you got, sir? Oh. Are you a janitor or a hitman? I mean, it says janitor, but, I mean, I've seen TV shows where... what was that one show where the guy, like, was a cleaner? Or maybe it was a movie. He was a cleaner, so he'd, like, clean up sites of murders, basically, for the police after they were done scrubbing the place for evidence and investigating it. But then he ended up getting involved in a murder mystery himself. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering something. I don't know. I mean, all you had was a Grimer. All it took was a little water to wash it away. That wasn't even super effective. Maybe I was reading into what he was saying too much. There's a flying Terra Shard, but again, if you want those, well, actually, those ones, so the Rock and Dragon Terra Shards, and the normal Terra Shards for that matter, if you want those, you get 50 of them for free by doing certain things in the game. Every other type of Terra Shard, if you want extras, you're going to need to do the Terra Raids in order to get them, and so basically, keep the 3 that you get out in the randomly in the overworld, because you won't find them anywhere else other than high-level raids. So, yeah, but I don't care, because I don't need those for any purpose whatsoever. So, you know, I'm going to put this back to Pokeball because it's been sitting on Ultra Ball for a while. You worked with this guy a while back? He's super chill. Alright, well, fair enough. I'm just misinterpreting what he's saying then, that's all. 50 more coins. Are we halfway there yet? Let me take a look at our Gimme Gold coin count. 402. Okay, so we're not quite halfway there, but we're getting closer. Alright, the next guy that I want to fight is on that little outcropping over by where that Terra, like, pillar is. So, see if we can float all the way over there in this one go. Oh, definitely. I mean, we're going to drop like a rock in a second, but we should be able to get to him from there. I think he's on this little outcropping almost directly below me, the one with the rock here. He's somewhere in this area. He's not in the swamp itself. He's up above it. Well, I almost fell on this tarantula. Had to register that one in my brain for a second. Wasn't really sure what it was for a second. Oh, here he is. He's up here. Are you practicing your dragon cry for a cosplay or what? I was gonna say, I'll just see your super cool Pokemon. How about that? You can show me the figurines later. But yeah, he's got a Dino, which in Violet version, I can't catch a Dino or any of its evolutions, so that's why I wanted to come and check him out, because then I can register this thing in my Pokedex. I don't know if we'll see a Zylus or a Hydreigon later, but we'll, at least we'll have Dino in our Pokedex this way. You know? Clink! Just glad he didn't use Dragon Rage on me. That would have been a travesty. And I think that should be 7 trainers in this area now. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this should be 7 right here. Well, I don't really have a sticker collection for my Pokemon. Oh, there's a Seviper. There's also a wild Zangoose around here, if I remember correctly, as well. So, I'll check what this Terra Raid is, actually. I was going to just fly over the whole swamp, but I'll check what this is. 2-star Terra Fire Cacnea. Sorry, Cacnea, I already caught one of you. But you can wander around the swamp here. You can find wild Krogunk here. There's wild Surskit, I guess. I think there's wild Dreadnought here as well. The Flamigo from the intro are also around here. Yeah, there they are. I was going to say somewhere. This guy's got a Bagon, if I remember correctly, but I think we can catch a Bagon in this version. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. And let's just head off to the Pokemon Center here, which is down this way, if I ever get done just grabbing random items off the ground. Like I said, it's like pieces of candy just tempting me with them along the ground as we go. Alright, well there's the Pokemon Center, so let's head that way. If you wanted a little bit more money, you could probably, I think there's a model over here, who usually the models have pretty good money counts, this lady. Needs my help, but I can't give her any help because I've already fought enough trainers in this area to get the items, so I will just go and collect my prize, actually. How do you say that? Dino or Dino? So it was... I watched the Flintstones as a kid, so the Flintstones dinosaur pet was Dino, and that was spelled D-I-N-O. So I always say it like eins, like 1 in German, so... And mug a model for cash? Got it. I guess in this game you can get away with it. Probably not in real life, though. But yeah, for defeating 7 trainers in this area, you get the Eviolite, which is a really important item because we're going to have some Pokemon that are not fully evolved for a little while, and this will help them tank any hits from fully evolved Pokemon that are just kind of hanging around in trainers' teams going forward. So probably be giving that to Dolive for the next gym battle because she has a type advantage against them, but also, all of the Pokemon that are in the next gym battle are fully evolved, so it might be in my best interests to give her a little bit of an advantage by giving her an Eviolite. Yes, it's a good item, a favorite of yours, and a favorite of mine as well. I've been using it pretty, like, solidly on most of my teams since it was first introduced back in Gen 5, so definitely worth the trouble of grabbing. So, all right, well, we've got an island out there that I've kind of been talking about for a little while because I mentioned it way back in South Province Area 1 when we went over by the locked door, the locked gate. And we've got the rest of the beach over there, excuse me, which have a couple of good things, including one tough trainer. There's also one more tough trainer somewhere on those bluffs up there. I don't remember exactly where she is, but we're going to try to find her so we can round out this area and be finished with all the trainers here by the time we get ready for the 4th gym, which will all be happening on the next episode of Pokemon Violet, the Stream Edition, which will be happening, I haven't decided yet, either tomorrow or Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'm going to figure that out because I'm going to post the schedule once this episode is all done and edited out. And yeah, once we hit level 30, we'll be good to go to the next gym. What I might do with it is I also might go straight from the 4th gym to the next Team Star fight. The level cap for that one's level 33, but basically, Toxel evolving into Toxtricity, we have access to the Thunderbolt TM, but he's not going to have a whole lot of good moves to go off of unless we get the TMs from beating that area, so it might be worth it for me to go and do that right away, like right after we do the 4th gym, but we'll see how it all works out as we go. I'll let you all know once we get there. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to check out the stream. And I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will either be tomorrow or Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'll let you all know on the schedule shortly after this episode is edited out. So until I see you next, everybody, take care and have a good one. Had quite a lot of evolutions today. We're going to have 2 more by the time the next stream begins, but Lieutenant, unfortunately, you have to wait until like level 37 or 38 to evolve, so... Well, I guess at the very least we have a candidate for the Eviolite right away. That helps.